Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Cole County Fair. This is Steve Surratt with Harness Tube on the air tonight. 10 races on the card for you. Post time is supposed to be 5:30. I think they're going to try to push that a little ahead, get things started on time because darkness may be a factor with 10 races. I know there's going to be no post parades today, but we'll be on the air with you here with Harness Tube for all 10 races. We're glad that you're on board with us and glad you could be a part of the broadcast. And I don't know why the closed captioning is on there, so I'll have to take a look at that and see what the deal is there. If I can get that off of there. There we go. As we got that off of the screen. With that, I want to talk about our schedule. Our schedule looks like this week. We call this is a lot like Easter week for a pastor. In fact, it's fuller than the week for a pastor. Usually you're doing Monday, Palm Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, maybe a couple of services on Sunday. But what we've got in store is 10 races for you tonight from here. Tomorrow morning we'll be over at noon from Altamont, and I believe there's 9 races on the card for you there. Back on Wednesday morning to Altamont for about the same amount of races. Back here at Charleston, I believe 8 races at Charleston. And then Altamont on Thursday at noon. And then Charleston at 12:30 on Friday. And so that's what the calendar looks like for us as far as broadcasting. Then we're back to Brown County and Mount Sterling, our home base, for 2 o'clock post time on both Saturday and Sunday. And the Sunday package is the Downstate Classic for 2-year-olds. And so we're looking forward to getting that. And then we still have about 3 dates left before the end of the year with Morrison and 2 in Pana. Glad that you could join the broadcast. We'd like to invite you to advertise with us. Still a lot of racing left, but if you're not, can't do it this year, we ask you to put it on the calendar for next year and get a hold of David, and he'll get you set up with a commercial. We can do all the work for you if we need to, or we can use something that you have. His number and contact information, 312-772-5122. That's 312-772-5122. Or you can email him at harnestube@gmail.com. That's harnestube@gmail.com. With that, we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back.
Avenatti Racing, a third-generation, family-run stable with a legacy of excellence. Centrally located between Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky racing programs, Avenatti Racing specializes in buying yearlings, breaking, training, and racing top-performing standardbreds. Call 217-840-6469 or email avenattiracing@gmail.com today. Avenatti Racing, from yearling to racetrack, we build contenders.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
That's David Brink's son. With that, we want to tell you to like or subscribe to us on YouTube. We need to try to get to 1,000 subscribers. We would love to be able to do that. If you could hit that subscribe button, you can also put the allowed notifications so that people can contact, or you get contacted every time we go on the air. A lot of racing left that you can be involved with, but help us to get to that 1,000 before the end of the year. We thank all of our sponsors out there for being a part of this broadcast. And so with that, we're waiting to get sound set up, so we may be doing a sound check here in just a moment. As soon as we can do that, want to ask you to send from the backstretch is one of our favorite things to do. We want to know your favorite county fair in Illinois and why and what makes it so great. So you just can't say, I like the Brown County Fair. You got to say, I like the Brown County Fair because of the harness racing on Sunday with the Downstate Classic would be one of mine that I have, and the concessions that they have there. I like Bruisers. I like several of the others there. So give us the fair you liked best and what you like the most about that fair. Why do you go to that fair? What are the reasons for that? And how can you do that? You can simply chat with us at harnesstube at Gmail, or best of all, chat with us on YouTube to get that. Or you can text David if you don't have access to that, 312-772-5122. Want to thank our donors out there that help us to stay on the air. You can see that list is growing. They help us stay on the air and help us keep it free on YouTube. And as long as we have sponsors, as long as we have donors, we're going to be able to do that and continue to bring you harness racing here on HarnessTube. How can you do that? Simply by Venmoing or PayPal at HarnessTube. That's at HarnessTube on Venmo or PayPal. Send a check, P.O. Box 63, Mount Sterling, Illinois 62353. David will pick that up in the mail. Or if you see it at a race, Lisa can take money from you in the stands. If you'd like to make a donation, she'd love to talk with you. Or stop by over where David and I are broadcasting, and we would love to talk with you too about helping us, and thank you for doing that. So with that, we'll take another quick commercial break. We'll be back.
Make plans now to attend the 27th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale, which takes place on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Once again this year, the catalog will offer not only a strong lineup of Illinois-conceived and foaled yearlings, but also an excellent supporting cast of colts and fillies eligible to other state-bred programs in the Midwest and on the Eastern Seaboard. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 1st, beginning at 11 a.m. Central.
Kerr Auction is your trusted source for ag equipment, attachments, construction gear, trucks, trailers, and hard-to-find parts. With live and online auctions at kerrauction.com, you can bid from anywhere, field, job site, or front porch. From big equipment to small parts. If you need it, Kerr Auction has it. Don't miss your next deal. Check out kerrauction.com today. Kerr Auction, built for the working world.
2024 Illinois County Fair Training Champion. Kev Miller's horses are built to win, and it all starts here.
Check 1, 2. Checking 1, 2, 3, 4. Check 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ready to join a winning team? Call Kev at 217-254-0170 or send a message to the email address.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4.
Kev Miller Stables. Train to win.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
We're good, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's done.
Okay, back with you on the air. Sorry about that check, and sorry about that. Hang on a second. I got to get a change. If you want to go ahead and talk.
Sure, bring me up. I don't know where we're at or what we're doing, but I can sure
Good
try
evening,
sometime, can't I?
How are you, sir? What was that change?
We're getting a change here from Judge Randy Callahan, but we're with you here at Charleston at the Coles County Fair 2025 Harness Racing. Glad you could make it. It's a hot one. We're not going to mince any words about that. And the horsemen have been racing a dual duty today. They started the day down at Altamont.
Check 1, 2, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Check 1, 2. Getting ready for racing at the Coles County Fair. Audio check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check 1, 2.
And there's that familiar voice of Mr. Kurt Becker. We're so fortunate to have him here in the Illinois Fairs, working the microphone duty and emceeing for us. So trying to get everything caught up to speed over here.
Guy from Effingham named Kevin Calkin.
We had to wait until we got the pageant stage out of the infield. That was blocking the judges' view before we could get today's festivities underway. So we're not, I wouldn't say we're not behind schedule, but we're cutting it close to getting everything out ready for today's first race at about 5:20 for the pre-race ceremonies.
Between the heat and humidity and the darkness and all that.
Just checking the socials here. We're live. Cool. Talking to myself, Steve. Don't
all
worry
right,
about it.
hey, I know what that's like. I know what that's like. While you were doing some things, we'll watch Kurt's microphone here when he starts announcing. I want to get the volume set correctly. But Kerr Auction Company, they had an auction today. The Markert retirement sale was today.
Yeah, and I was watching online a little bit, seeing some of the prices of tractors and stuff going. So, yeah, it's really fun to follow along, and they sell a lot of stuff.
Tomorrow they're going to have like 3
Even
rings
more
going.
stuff.
Yeah. It's going to be a 3-ring circus there tomorrow as they've got the storage, what I call containers, every size and thing that you would want there, and a lot of things going on. And then we go into August. They've got 3 sales there in August, the 14th, the 19th, and the 28th. One of those is in Wisconsin. September, Mount Pleasant, Iowa. It looks like they don't have anything in October. I just checked yesterday to see if there was any updates on that. Torrington, Wyoming in November. Then it'll be Timewell, Illinois, McLeansboro, Illinois, Mount Sterling Winter Sale, and the Wisconsin Winter Auction on December 30th. That'll end up with the year there. But check out Kerr Auction Company, kerrauction.com. You can bid online using their app, or you can actually show up to the auctions and live bid if you want to. You get to bid both directions with Kerr Auction Company. Give them a call, 217-242-9600 or kerrauction.com, 217-242-9600. And David, we'd like for people to like or subscribe to the channel on Facebook or on YouTube.
And you're absolutely right. In the YouTube thing, guys, we've been asking and you've been listening. We're getting that number closer and closer to the ever so crucial 1,000 subscriber plateau. We're at 977 currently, so we're even going up between races, which is great to see. We appreciate everyone. Like we say, if you know anyone who's not subscribed who you think would like to get notifications, go ahead and have them subscribe to the channel so they can get email notifications sent when we go live on the air. They'll never miss another county fair race.
No, that's true. And so with that, let's talk about our county fair races. I talked a little bit earlier about that, but I'll let you talk about these races and maybe going into our
I appreciate
fairs
that.
You like.
Is Arnie still the
who's
track
some of
man
our
here?
favorite county fairs that you like to go to harness race for? You've been doing this as a kid. What's
Yes,
your favorite?
and one fair that we haven't been to yet, and I would love to take the Harness Tube crew up there if we can make it happen, is the Belvedere Fair in the Boone County up there between Rockford and Chicago. That, I think, is one of the richest fairs in the state. The footprint of the whole facility is huge. It's nice. It's newer. It's clean, easy to navigate. And if I remember correctly, Doug and I were young guys prowling around the barn area at the time, and there used to be pretty good-looking women up there in Boone County, too.
Okay.
We always made a
You're
point
a
of
single guy.
noticing that.
You need to go back up there.
But we always said they always had the best-looking women in Belvedere for whatever reason. But I always like going to that fair. Such nice people. The crowd walked by the barn there, and you know, they were horse interested. They wanted to actually go through the barn and ask questions, and you know, love seeing that kind of interaction and intrigue with the fans. So that's definitely one that stands out in my mind.
All right. With a lot of good county fairs out there. With that, we're going to take another commercial break. Like we say, they're going to try to get started a little bit early if they can, and we'll move straight ahead.
We'll be ready when they are.
Yes, we'll be right back.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Do you like to watch horse racing?
Yeah.
Do you not want to pay money for a stupid horse racing channel?
Yeah.
Are you sadly allergic to horses and you can't see them?
Yeah.
Well, introducing Harness Tube, established 2023.
Hey, I need to try this out.
You can watch it at your son's ball game.
Let's go, son.
You can watch it while eating. Last but not least, you can watch it while you're sleeping.
Yay, my horse won.
Now everybody, make sure you like and subscribe to HarnessTube and keep the notifications on for more HarnessTube streams or future videos or future posts. Anything that I care for. Anything at all. Even if it's just like a 1-second video of a horse doing a backflip. I don't know. But you get the point. So, I hope this video is very informational. And thank you for watching. Peace out.
Driver change on number 2, Goldie's Louise, and that will be Jaquavian Carter. That's number 2, Goldie's Louise. Make the driver Jaquavian Carter. Jaquavian, Jacquuavyian. Third race. Driver on the 2, one-trip chip, Mike Cox. Third race, driver on the 2, one-trip chip, driver Mike Cox. Fourth race, number 3, Arcades Mac, the driver Jaquavian Carter. That's the fourth race, number 3, Arcades Mac, the driver Jaquavian Carter. Race number 5. Driver of number 3, Arcades Captain, once again, Jaquavian Carter. That's race 5, number 3, Arcades Captain, once again the driver Jaquavian, Jacquuavyian Carter. Race number 6, a lot of driver changes in that 6th race on number 2, Trevor's Aristocrat, Matt Avenatti. That's race 6, number 2, Trevor's Aristocrat, the driver Matt Avenatti. Driver on the 3, Cupid's Dragon, has been changed to Wyatt Avenatti. That's race 6, number 3, Cupid's Dragon, Wyatt Avenatti, the driver. On the 4, Lavender Haze, that'll be Mike Cox. Race 6, number 4, Lavender Haze, the driver is Mike Cox. And a driver change on number 5 for the ladies' man, Jaquavian Carter. That's race 6, number 5, for the ladies' man, Jaquavian Carter will drive. Moving to race 7. In the 7th race, the driver of number 1, Hype Your Bestie Up, Mike Cox. 7th race, number 1, Hype Your Bestie Up, the driver Mike Cox. On the 2, Miss Larry, make the driver Harold Finn Jr. On the 2, Miss Larry, make the driver Harold Finn Jr. Driver change on number 3, Ashley's Little Angel, that'll be Kajavian Carter, better known to his friends as JJ, J-A-I-J-A-I, JJ Carter, will drive number 3, Ashley's Little Angel. Moving to race 8. Driver change on the 1, Fox Valley Langley, Mike Cox. That's race 8, number 1, Fox Valley Langley, the driver, Mike Cox. Scratch the 4, Ideal Big Guy, because he already raced earlier today at the Effingham County Fair where he got a win. So scratch the 4, Ideal Big Guy, because he's done his work for the day. Driver of the 5, Cosmic Mega Playboy, Harold Finn Jr. That's the 5, Cosmic Mega Playboy, Harold Finn Jr., the driver. Scratch the 6, Mr. Kid. Scratch the 6, Mr. Kid, scratched sick. Race 9. The driver of number 2, Xena Lou, will be Wyatt Avenatti. That's race 9, number 2, Xena Lou. Make the driver Wyatt Avenatti. Scratch number 3, Noble Prize. Scratch number 3, Noble Prize, reason personal. Driver change on the 5, Lou's Miracle, Jaquavian Carter. That's race 9, number 5, Lou's Miracle, the driver, Jaquavian Carter. In the 10th and final race, driver change on the 2, Blazing Star, Jaquavian Carter. That's the 10th and final race, number 2, Blazing Star. Make the driver, Jaquavian Carter. Those are the current program changes as we draw closer to post time, just 9 minutes away at 5:30 p.m. Got a lot of rain here earlier today, but of course this racetrack is probably as well equipped to handle a big rainfall as any that we race on the Illinois County Fair circuit. This is stop number 18 of the 27 that make up the 2025 statewide Illinois County Fair Harness Racing Tour. Again, we're going to have not only some great racing for you, but a lot of fun at the grandstand here as well. Sit tight. Pre-race ceremonies will be coming up soon.
Avenatti Racing, a third-generation, family-run stable with a legacy of excellence. Centrally located between Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky racing programs, Avenatti Racing specializes in buying yearlings, breaking, training, and racing top-performing standardbreds. Call 217-840-6469 or email avenattiracing@gmail.com today. Avenatti Racing, from yearling to racetrack, we build contenders.
Our thanks to our track conditioning crew, Phil Stout and the gang.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
Long. There's racing, there are horses going warm-up miles, so keep in mind that this track is essentially hot at all times. Same with track conditioning crew and the implements and the pickups that they drive, the harrows they pull. So a lot of activity all around this half-mile track all evening long. So we do appreciate your making safety the priority.
Okay, David, opportunity for us to talk here in amidst of everything going on here as they try to get things started.
Yeah. Looking up on the screen, we don't want to forget to tell you to like and subscribe. We're getting close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. And if you are on Facebook, go ahead and give us a like and a follow there. We'd appreciate that as well.
All right, let's go ahead and handicap race 1 here as we get started here.
Well,
hey, not much handicapping to do.
Go back a race.
Go back a race.
Yeah.
Not much I've already ran commercials too much here already.
That's not a bad thing. I guess we're getting our plugs in, right? But today's first race looks like it's going to be the amateur driving race, and I want to give a big shout out to the Fair Board for continuing to put on the amateur series here at the Coles County Fair. It's a fun, exciting event. This year, sponsored by Harper's Love Foundation, the horse, organization that's near and dear to a lot of horsemen's heart, especially in this area. But we have a 2-horse race. We have Arcade's Tony with Barry Bell driving, and BR Easy Like Sunday Morning with Marcus Detweiler. And I think the whole card went 2-1, didn't they?
Yeah.
We all went 2-1
I don't think anybody's going to make any difference on these points right here.
And I don't know if you guys were picking the horse. If you're
this is day
Marcus
2 of the
Barry
171st Coles County Fair. A reminder, the entire fair schedule for the week is printed on the back cover of your track program. Truly an historic fairgrounds. Drive onto the grounds, and one of the first things that you will see if you come in the main entrance is the marker reminding everyone that in 1858, one of the Abraham Lincoln-Stephen Douglas debates took place on this very site. Did some research online earlier today, found an article from a local paper back in 1932 that talked about how the downturn in the economy, the Great Depression, was causing a lot of fairs around Illinois and Indiana to close their doors, and it was remarkable that this one continued. Of course, some of you local historians, no doubt, are well aware of the tornado that devastated the entire fairgrounds in 1917. They said there would never be another fair here again, and they had one that same year, that fall.
All right, David, you were asking about us. Explain to me what an amateur driving race is.
Amateur driving race. So basically, these guys can't have taken money to drive, which down here at the fairs is a little easier to accomplish. But they can't have driven at a pari-mutuel event where the bookkeeper would take the money out for them. That's kind of the disqualifying factor. But typically, if you drive at these fairs, you drive your own horses, that kind of stuff. You're not really collecting a professional fee. So I see the horses coming to the post parade, but yeah, it's just basically
horses are on the track for the first race. Race 1 is the amateur driving contest, brought to you by Harper's Love Foundation. The amateur dates back to 1996 at the Coles County Fair. This has been a long-standing tradition. Number 1 is RK's Tony, owned by the MM&D Racing of Charleston, of Mike and Mitch Titus and Dennis Wright, owned also by trainer Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi. Barry Bell of Windsor is the driver. Number 2, BR Easy Like Sunday Morning, owned by MM&D Racing, co-owned by the trainer Stan Swisher of Humboldt, and the driver is 19-year-old Marcus Detweiler.
That's fine with me.
No post parades, horsemen, no post parades here this evening. The heat and humidity are noticeable, and we'll go ahead and go straight to the gate with each race. Hi, Brad. Do we have an anthem singer? And if so, is the anthem singer on your side of the track, or should we be looking for someone over here? Right there. Okay, so do you have an active microphone if you've got the anthem singer there? Doesn't appear that the mic is functioning. The horses are at the post, so a heads up. Folks, I want to clarify that we do have a national anthem singer. So let's be clear that we are not attempting to be disrespectful with no national anthem before the first race. However, since we do have an anthem singer, we will have essentially pre-race ceremonies after the amateur contest wraps up. So the amateurs on the track right now. We'll just do things a little bit out of order from what we normally do. Here they come. Race 1 on your program. The amateur driving race brought to you by the Harper's Love Foundation. Often pacing in the amateur event, and there goes Marcus Detweiler with BR Easy Like Sunday Morning, and RK's Tony and Barry Bell will come away in the second position as they move down into the east turn of the racetrack past the stable area and work their way over to the backstretch. The opening eighth of a mile already in the books as harness racing is underway at the 171st Coles County Fair. Midpoint of the backstretch, it is BR Easy Like Sunday Morning who has the lead by 2.5 lengths, and then RK's Tony is racing along in the second position. They have completed the opening quarter of a mile in the amateur as they head up to the west end of the track. 31 seconds for the opening quarter, 31 flat. BR Easy Like Sunday Morning was geared up and ready to go as the horses got underway here in this opening race of our 10 on the card, and has the advantage still by about 2.5 lengths after 3/8 of a mile. But RK's Tony is still right there in the second position as these two pacers work their way toward the halfway point and pass by the stands here for the first time this evening, and it is still BR Easy Like Sunday Morning with the lead. RK's Tony travels along in the second position. They work back toward the east end. 103 and 2, the time for the first half mile, 103 and 2/5. We've talked about the fact already that this is truly an historic fairgrounds. This is a fair which dates back to 1854. The first 3 editions were held east of Charleston. Everything else since then has been held where we are today. They go by the 3/4 mile mark, and it is BR Easy Like Sunday Morning opening up here with every stride. The lead's out to 5. It's out to 6 lengths for Marcus Detweiler, and then RK's Tony is second. 132 and 1 for the 3 quarters, 132 and 1/5. After 7/8 of a mile, they swing off the west end of the course, and BR Easy Like Sunday Morning has the amateur wrapped up for 19-year-old Marcus Detweiler of Sullivan, and of course bases his own stable right here at the Coles County Fairgrounds, and wins with a horse from the barn of Stan Swisher to take the amateur. It is BR Easy Like Sunday Morning opening up and winning it by about 14 lengths. It was Arcase Tony across the line in second. 2:01 and 3, the time for the mile. 2:01 and 3/5 of a second. More in just a moment.
Marcus got out early on that, David. Never relented at any point.
Don't let him fool you. That was a wicked last half. So Barry was doing some pacing there with Arcase Tony, but that was a monster mile out there for Marcus. You talked about those miles he's done that are maybe not amateur class, but, he's proven that he's got that experience under his belt because he looked real comfortable out there in that mile.
Absolutely, and, we like watching him race. We get to see him at lots of county fairs.
Yeah, he's a young up-and-coming horseman. His family's really involved in the sport. I think when I was taking Lisa across the track to get the camera set up, I think I saw Jason Detweiler warming up horses. So glad to see the family, staying in it, and see Lester out there with all the horses he has. And Marcus, he's a young man. He's feet first in the sport, and he's having some luck. So couldn't be happier for him.
Absolutely. As we wait for the race to be official.
Again, the time for the mile. 2:01 and 3. Marcus Detweiler, with a horse from the barn of trainer Stan Swisher, takes the opening event, the amateur driving race. Again, that's a tradition that stretches back right at 30 years now at the Coles County Fair.
Wow. See it over there?
BR Easy Like Sunday Morning is owned by the MM&D Racing LLC of Mike and Mitch Titus and Dennis Wright from right here in Charleston. Stan Swisher, we told you he's the trainer. Well, he's also the co-owner of Humboldt, and Marcus Detweiler is the driver. This is a neat horse, folks. This is a Canadian-sired horse, a 10-year-old pacing gelding by Vintage Master out of Hay Macarena by Arts Place. This is career win number 29. And this is a horse that started out his career racing north of the border in his native Canada before he found his way to the United States. The Harper's Love Foundation, Richard and Bethany Finn began this foundation as what they call their passion project, a foundation that will help families that lose a child suddenly or without warning. Ladies and gentlemen, a hand please for the winner of the amateur, Marcus Detweiler. And the results of the first race are official. It was Arcase Tony, the runner-up, and BR Easy Like Sunday Morning, the winner. The opening quarter went in 31 seconds. The first half mile in 1:03 and 2. 3 quarters, 1:32 and 1. And the time for the mile, 2:01 and 3/5. Reads down to 1. Paige Schwint, the newly crowned Miss Coles County Fair. Also, Callan Bellinger, the junior miss, and Heidi Winkler, the little miss. We appreciate the queen at her court. There they are, giving us a nice wave from the east end of the grandstand. And it's good to have those ladies with us. How about a hand for our queen at her court at the Coles County Fair?
Steve and I are over here waving like crazy, man, trying to get Lisa's attention. I think Lester Detweiler's over there. He has a little segue. He got over to the winner's circle from the barn area. Pretty cool to see that, and I want to hopefully get him on the camera there, but we'll catch him later. Now that we know he's coming.
All right, everybody got 15 points on that, David, as there's only 2 horses in that race as we get ready for the next one.
Only 2 horses in this race, too.
2-horse race this time. But we're going to take a commercial break, and you may have heard these commercials because I got ahead of myself. But
that's all right. It happens.
Avenatti Racing, a third-generation, family-run stable with a legacy of excellence. Centrally located between Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky racing programs, Avenatti Racing specializes in buying yearlings, breaking, training, and racing top-performing standardbreds. Call 217-840-6469 or email avanettiracing@gmail.com today. Avenatti Racing, from yearling to racetrack, we build contenders.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
345-678, check. Here is Maya to present our national anthem. We ask that you would please rise as you are able.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at our twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet waved o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That is Maya Norman. Well done, Maya, with our national anthem as we continue into the card. Race 2, the Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old filly trot, brought to you by our friends at SturdyBuiltBuildings.com. That is the race that is coming up next. We apologize. Our own Brad Warner is our grandstand MC, but he's currently in search of a functioning wireless mic. And in the meantime, the Pick-A-Winner ushers, you've got some good, strong pipes over there. I heard someone just absolutely taking control and calling out regarding the Pick-A-Winner contest. So kudos to all of you who are going ahead and making do in the meantime. And it's great to have everyone with us here this evening at the Coles County Fair. Sturdy Built Buildings, you can find them at SturdyBuiltBuildings.com. They are our grandstand and Pick-A-Winner sponsor. And a reminder that they have been in business since 1961, family-owned and locally operated. Number 1, Owashi name is scratched for transportation issues. And again, Jaquavian Carter drives the 2, Goldies Louise. Those letters at the top of the page, ISA, that is all new this year. Typically, in the past...
Okay, David, let's talk about this next race here. Let's give an opportunity for that, as we kind of got to watch the sound here. 2-horse race, and originally everybody went 3... You went what?
Nope, I didn't go that.
Yeah.
I went 3-2-1, so...
Yep, and so did I. I went 3-2-1 on this race.
Well, my picks are wrong on the screen for whatever reason, but...
Oh, really? In race I know what happened to that. I will get that changed. I know what happened.
Well, anyway, we can go ahead and talk about it. I went 3-2-1 in this race, so Steve and I both did, so I think we can go ahead and just talk about it then. The ones out leaves us only 3-2, which doesn't affect my change at all. Using Shady Maple Becky on top here. That horse hasn't missed the board in this 3-year-old season for Marcus Detweiler. He won the first race out here. He trains over this track. I think that horse will be able to turn in a nice mile to fend off Goldie's Louise here with my second place choice. Nothing wrong against this horse. A fine trotting filly here, but just believe that Shady Maple Becky's a little too tough. Going to win this one. But it looks like, well, no, because Lisa's pick would get bumped up. So we're all the same 3-2 in this one. So nothing's going to separate as far as points go anyway.
No, everybody's going to be 3-2-1, and we'll get a point for the last one there. And
I'll take free points wherever I can get them.
All right. As they're working with the sound here, we got to kind of keep one eye on what's going on and one eye on what's going on behind us. So
yeah, and you can see on the screen here we added another column down by the picks. You can see the daily total where we're at. We're going to try to keep you updated that way. Maybe it'll save us having to get that information in on air. Sometimes you can just glance and see where you're at, see where we're at as far as pick goes. We didn't get Travis's in time to dig them on the air. I haven't heard from him yet, but I sent him the file, so must have been a busy man. It happens.
He's waiting until after the races are done to pick
to pick his. Yeah, exactly right. But with a short card on a hot day, we'll go through with just 3 of us just fine.
Yes, it is a hot day here. A lot of fair people working on things. One of the fair guys does the track announcing on the other side, trying to get microphones working on the other side. I think he has given up that ship. And so
I still hear Kurt in the grandstand, so I know that there's a sound going somewhere.
So with that, we'll go back to Kurt Becker.
The way the track was originally carved out, just trying to get to a regulation half mile. Second race coming up.
We don't have to worry too much, do we?
I go back to Kurt, and he basically sends it back to us.
I was just making sure that we had the sound where we wanted it as far as microphone systems. But, yeah, we can't exactly see him this time, and we're kind of going blindly, which has its benefits with the shade and the wind down here. But having eyes on your MC is crucial when you're running a production, right?
Yep. And, again, nice 3-horse race here. Let's just go back to the race a minute.
Down to 2 now, but either way, you know, Marcus, it's okay for the local connections to get wins on their home track in front of the home fairs. So, he won the amateur race out here. He has a nice chance to win this 2-horse race. Looks confident.
As we continue to work through some of the technical difficulties with the wireless mic for the grandstand, I want to pass along word to you young men and women who are interested in the field of broadcasting. There are opportunities not only as sportscasters and announcers, but also broadcast engineers, and that is the field that often gets overlooked. Doesn't matter how pretty your voice is if you can't be heard. And you've got to have good engineers that can get you on the air. Radio, TV, it doesn't matter. And we need producers, especially for sports radio and sports TV. We need people who know how to time things properly, get to the commercial break, get back in time to continue the broadcast. So if you're interested in the broadcast field, keep in mind you've got not only broadcasters, but you've also got engineers as well and producers as well, and those roles are all critical. So the horses are on the track, and we are ready to go with this evening's second race.
Yep. And they call to the post here as we get ready to go, trying to keep things moving.
Race 2 this evening, the ISA, Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old filly trot, brought to you by Sturdy Built Buildings. And again, you can visit them online at SturdyBuiltBuildings.com, not only sponsoring the blanket for Race 2, but they are the grandstand sponsor and the pick-a-winner sponsor here this evening at the Coles County Fair. Number 1 is Scratch. Number 2, Goldie's Louise, races for the Flacco family farms of Alexis, of Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco, Rick and Tabby Flacco, and also owned by the trainer Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi, contrary to the program, the driver Jaquavian Carter. And number 3, Shady Maple Becky, owned, trained, and driven by Marcus Detweiler of Sullivan, and he trains that filly right here at the Coles County Fairgrounds. Mr. Roy Finn is our starter here this evening, and Stacy DeRoos drives the gate, and they pick up this field of 2 trotters at the end of the backstretch. Our charter and our racing office administrator, Leanne Shin. Leanne, I don't know if you knew this. I know your home is in Newton. One of the founders of the Coles County Fair that got the inaugural going back in 1854, a man by the name of Ben Shin. Yes, absolutely. Might have been great Uncle Ben, perhaps. That's right, absolutely. He also invented rice. Yes, absolutely. Yes, a gentleman by the name of Ben Shin. Same spelling, same surname as our own Leanne Shin. Here they come, race number 2. They are off and trotting. Well, one of them is off and trotting. There goes Shady Maple Becky out for the lead. Goldie's Louise is off stride at the start. Goldie's Louise on a break, and that will leave Shady Maple Becky by herself, working across the east end of the course and about to complete the opening eighth of a mile. Shady Maple Becky is your early leader here, headed up the backstretch. Marcus Detweiler already has won the amateur driving contest, and now he is trying to take race number 2 on the card. He's got a lead of about a third the distance of the back straightaway or so. Goes by the quarter with Shady Maple Becky on top, and Goldie's Louise is back trotting for Jaquavian Carter, but has a lot of ground to make up. 32 and 3 for the opening quarter, 32 and 3/5 seconds. Glad to have you with us here this evening at the Coles County Fair, whether you joined us on site or whether you joined us through our friends at Harness Tube through the live stream. All you have to do is go to youtube.com and enter Harness Tube in the search field, and you can watch the entire card live. Broadcast anchored by Steve Surratt and David Brink, and Lisa Surratt is positioned in the grandstand as the videographer. Halfway home here in the Sturdy Built Buildings race 2, and Shady Maple Becky is the leader. 105, the time for the first half mile, 105. The advantage is still about 25 to 30 lengths, and the leader, Shady Maple Becky, heads onto the backstretch. She is looking for win number 7 of her career. She's already won a little over $30,000 lifetime, trotting well. No one close to pressure her, but she is trotting past the 3/4 mile mark at a solid clip, and now is headed toward the final turn, and her advantage, again, is about half the distance now of the backstretch. 135 and 2. The time at the 3/4, 135 and 2. So around the west turn goes Shady Maple Becky and young Marcus Detweiler of Sullivan. Again, he's just 19 years of age, and he will bring Shady Maple Becky home on the track where she trains. Here she is, folks. She's on the home turf, you might say. She is Shady Maple Becky, winning the Sturdy Built Buildings race. Shady Maple Becky wins the event for Illinois-bred 3-year-old trotting fillies, and here comes Goldie's Louise now to complete her journey as well. 2:05 and 4 was the time for the mile, 2:05 and 4/5 of a second. We'll meet the winner in just a moment and have the blanket presentation. Horsemen, you may come to the track with race 3.
Change that.
Absolutely, we can.
Hey, call me. I can be bought off.
I tell you what, we'll give you a shout. Here is the winner of race number 2. Folks, that's a pretty nice start for this 19-year-old horseman out of Sullivan. How about a hand for Marcus Detweiler? Shady Maple Becky, the winner. A nice wave to the crowd from Marcus Detweiler. The winner is owned, trained, and driven by Marcus, and again, he bases his stable right here at the Coles County Fairgrounds. Freeman Mast, one of the true gentlemen of Illinois racing, of Belle Rive, Illinois. He bred this filly. So she grew up on Freeman's Farm before she sold for $9,000 at the Illini Classic. The winning filly by Can't Afford It out of AA Soprano by Dover Dan, winning for the 7th time in her career. And our thanks again to everybody at Sturdy Built Buildings. Visit them online at sturdybuiltbuildings.com. Marcus Detweiler, as they say in the prize-fighting business, he comes out a-swinging tonight, and he wins the first 2 races. Marcus, congratulations. And here is the official rundown for that second race. From the top, Owashi name was scratched. Goldie's Louise, the runner-up, and Shady Maple Becky was the winner. The quarter, 32 3/5 seconds. The half, 105. 3/4, 135 2. And the time for the mile, 2:05 4. Reads down, scratch 2-1. Third race is on the way. The John Titus Memorial, the ISA 3-year-old Colt Gelding Trot. No scratches in race 3. A reminder, the driver of the 2 one-trip chip, Mike Cox. The 2 one-trip chip, make the driver, Mike Cox.
David, we'll talk real quick. Lisa got a great shot
of Lester Detweiler on the Segway. How cool is that, folks? I tell you what, for all you horsemen paying attention, if you got a groom that are working over at Springfield the State Fair coming up in a couple weeks, one of those things would be awfully handy to get from the barn area over to the paddock and back and forth, carrying buckets and blankets and halters and all that, head pulls and good stuff. So, pretty neat little piece of equipment.
Got to have better balance than me. Disclaimer, not suggested for people over the age of probably 55.
Or for someone 7 foot tall whose center of gravity is probably higher than that thing's supposed to be. But it was moving. I couldn't believe how fast it was going. He was keeping up with the horse coming back to the winner circle, so pretty cool to see him out there. I've never seen one that handy. He was moving around and getting out of the way of the water truck and everything, so pretty cool.
All right, as we get ready for the next race, we'll go to a commercial break. We'll be back right after these messages.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
All right, David, we'll take a minute to talk here as we enter race 3, and we've got a 4-horse race. We've got twice the same amount of horses in one race as we have had in the first 2.
We have way more combinations of horses this time, so it's any man's game in the third race. What is it, third race today? Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite county fair? Why?
I gave you mine. I threw out Belvedere. I'm not sure it's my favorite, but it's one we haven't been to, and it's a good one to talk about. If you have a favorite, if you have a fair that has something special about it, let us know in the chat. Send us a text or an email or Facebook message, whatever.
We finally got some chat going there, don't we, or not?
Not all. Yoders are in there. Deb Ham is in the chat. We got a little of our regulars in there, but not a whole lot. It's a big long day.
Yeah, Yoders. Yes, it is hot out there. Is he here tonight?
I don't think so. Maybe he is. He texted me for programs earlier, so I think he's at home. But either way, I was texting Kenny. We're going to be maybe hooking up for supper tomorrow night at Windsor's Pub we talked about. And I think tomorrow night might work out best for us. So if you're listening, we're kind of thinking maybe that might work out. We'll do like a supper tomorrow night sometime. I think it's pretty close to our Airbnb, within 10 miles or so.
Yep, that sounds absolutely great to me.
Yeah.
Someplace air conditioned with food, that's right at the top of my list of things to do.
You know what? I'm pretty easy to please. Good food, air conditioning, and a small town place. And I like coming down to this part of the state. You know, they love their horse racing. They love their small towns. It's a pretty cool little slice of heaven.
Yeah, as we get ready.
If you have never done that, I know some people, sometimes people will say if they live in a certain town, no matter what the event is, sometimes people say, well, I never go. I mean, I live in that town. Well, if you've never been, whether you live in Charleston or not, whether you live in Coles County or not, we encourage you to take in the Christmas celebration in downtown Charleston. Horses are on the track for the third race in your scorecard. This is the John Titus Memorial, as we remember a U.S. military veteran who was also a standard-bred breeder and owner. And race 3 is for Illinois-bred 3-year-old trotting colts and geldings. The purse, $2,493. A reminder, the driver of the 2 one-trip chip is Mike Cox. Field right now beginning to gather up. They will head to the end of the backstretch and go to the starting gate here in just a moment. Gate is about to work its way over into position. Right now parked at the exit just to the outside of that east turn. Number 1 is Lose Magnum, owned by the Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, Illinois. Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco, Rick and Tabby Flacco, trained and driven by Jill Brown. 2 is One Trip Chip, owned by Ron Phillips of Athen, Sherry Boldovich of Lakewood, Colorado, Judge Lyle Lipe of Springfield, trained by Jamaica Patton, the driver Mike Cox. 3, Send It Emmett, is owned and trained by Dennis Gardner of West Salem. Please note, late driver change on number 3, Send It Emmett. It'll be Wyatt Avenatti. Wyatt Avenatti drives number 3. And number 4 is Ranging Motion, leased by Jason Andrew Detweiler of Sullivan, his brother Marcus Detweiler, the trainer and the driver.
I'll bring us back up real quick, Steve. I wanted to go ahead and throw a shout-out on the screen here. For those of you who missed it earlier, we have Karen Stewart watching from Missouri, giving her a shout-out. Thanks for covering the races. She says her husband Dan and her used to own, train, and race horses at the Illinois County Fair Circuit. Riverside Beauty and Riverside Kit, they trotted back in the 1990s. She said Martinsville was really special for them. Her and her husband attended. His grandfather sat in the treacherous first turn and dreamed of racing trotters, and the dream came true. And I tell you what, a lot of fans have been made at that Martinsville Oval. There's a lot of deep horse racing traditions there, and we're glad you could join us in watching from over in Missouri. So thanks for tuning in there, Karen.
And it's become one of my favorite fairs. Tim Wilson and Kurt get the banter going back and forth, and our day is pretty much easy.
And if you're actually watching them, I mean, Tim, they're looking eye to eye, talking to each other. They're two friends having a conversation, and that's why it works so well out there for them.
And both of them horse families, and I noticed
both have the information.
Looks like Tim is training horses again.
Yep. And Tim's got the local connections, knows everyone in that town, and Kurt knows everyone in the horse community. So you put them together, and they can about entertain, a grandstand for a whole afternoon pretty easily.
And again, I'll thank him on the air. Tim took us out to paid for our dinner at the Mexican restaurant. We appreciate that and appreciate the friendship there.
Tim's a good guy. We were out to eat after Lewiston. Ed Teefy took us out to eat, Lisa and Mom and I, and he was reminiscing about Tim's father, Tim Sr., being one of Ed's best friends before he untimely passing. But the Wilsons are good folks, good people. Definitely, I think anyone who knows them would agree with that, and we can attest for sure.
And you talked a little bit about Ed's got a lot of connections with Kurt's dad when that was happening too. So you got another shout out there?
Yeah, Karen's back in. She said it's so good to hear family names carried on in the sport. Many of these involved when she was kids and were out there, including Kurt, just a teenager. Well, you know, Kurt got a little bit older, but he's still one of the best in the business, and we're so fortunate to have him here in Illinois. Here comes the races. We'll go back to Kurt.
Horses lined up on the gate for the John Titus Memorial, and here they come. Race 3 in your scorecard, the Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old Colt and Gelding Trot. Great to have you with us on a Monday evening at the Coles County Fair. They are off and trotting. There goes Luz Magnum out for the early lead. Send It Emmett is there from the outside, followed by One Trip Chip, who gets away a close-up third and saves some ground toward the inside now to briefly take second as they swing around the turn before breaking stride. One Trip Chip broke stride midway on the east turn. Carefully gets to the outside, clear of trouble, although Ranging Motion now is able to move up and challenge to the inside for that third position. No problems for Luz Magnum, though. At the quarter-mile mark, it is Luz Magnum leading it for Jill Brown by just over 2 lengths, now by 3, as Send It Emmett goes second as they head up to the west end of the course. It was 31 seconds for the opening quarter, 31 seconds flat. So Luz Magnum is the leader, only by a length and a half. Send It Emmett racing in second position, and then there is a gap of some 5 more lengths. Back to One Trip Chip, back trotting in the third position now, and Ranging Motion has lost that third spot and settles out to the back of the pack in fourth. Halfway home in the John Titus Memorial Race 3 in your scorecard, it is Luz Magnum the leader by 2.5 lengths as they move past the stands and work back toward the east end of the course. It is Send It Emmett in second. 102-1, a good solid honest pace. 102-1 the time for the first half mile. After 5/8 of a mile, Luz Magnum still leading it by 2 lengths. Onto the backstretch they go once again. Send It Emmett second by a length. One Trip Chip is moving fast. Here comes One Trip Chip up on the outside despite breaking stride shortly after the start. That trotter, One Trip Chip, back into contention now and goes to second, about 3 lengths off the lead of Luz Magnum. Send It Emmett has lost ground in third, 1:33 the time at the 3/4, 1:33 flat, and Ranging Motion, I should say, is last as they turn for home. At the top of the stretch, Luz Magnum is your leader. One Trip Chip is second. There's still a strong 3 lengths between them, although One Trip Chip's going to make a final try. Here comes the wire. One Trip Chip is coming after Luz Magnum. Here's the finish. It is Luz Magnum by 3/4 of a length. Luz Magnum wins it, and really Jill Brown never even had to touch that trotter. She was never worried, not one little bit, and wins it by 3/4 of a length. One Trip Chip was across the line in second. 2:03 the time for the mile. 2:03 3/5. Number 1, Luz Magnum, your unofficial winner in the John Titus Memorial.
Another local connection getting the win in today's third race, Jill Brown for owner Flacco Family Farms LLC of Alexis. Luz Magnum getting the win today, and in a nice mile, 2, 3, and 3 out here over the home track. I tell you what, One Trip Chip put in a big mile, making that early break, or early miscue, coming back and only getting beat about a half a length. So take nothing away from that horse, who was my pick, obviously, but either way, a nice win for the connections of Luz Magnum. This 3-year-old Luz Legacy gelding by Lima Sunlight, we'll say, by Broadway Hall, has made close to $28,000. Got a mark now of, this is a new lifetime mark of 2, 3, and 3 for Luz Magnum.
Thank you.
Oh, the point system. Oh. We got the updated points on the screen there. It looks like David and Steve are tied with
Our thanks to the folks from Pilsen. That Ford pickup truck is pulling the harrow, conditioning the racetrack as it works its way around the east end of this half-mile layout. Thanks to one and all who have pitched in and helped us with contributions toward the track crew led by Phil Stout and his entire crew. Visit the folks at Berkey's online at www.berkeys.com. Also, our thanks to South Central FS as well, as we have seen water wagons and trucks and so forth with their banners and signs on them. It takes a lot of folks to make a county fair work, and we do appreciate everybody who helps make the Coles County Fair racing successful and possible, for that matter. Our speed superintendent once again this year is Mr. Clark Fairley. Well, the second race, we mentioned the fact it is the John Titus Memorial, who was a businessman here in Coles County and right here in Charleston. It's always been kind of fascinating to think back. One always, of course, has respect for those who have served in the United States military, any branch of the armed forces. But over the years, on occasion, depending on the time period that you're looking at, once in a while we will come across individuals who served both in World War II and also in the Korean conflict as well. And John Titus was one of those individuals, as he served in the U.S. Army, both in World War II and in Korea, was a member of the United States Trotting Association, also a member of the Moose Lodge and the VFW here in Charleston. And again, the memorial race for John Titus, race 3, going to Lewes Magnum here this evening at the Coles County Fair.
Did it even come to the winner's circle? All right, David, with that, not many points to be had on that. We both did 2-horse races. All of us did real well on that one. You got 2 points. I got 2 points. Lisa got 3
Lisa
points.
will take her lead however she can take it.
Oh, wait a second. You got a 1-2. Did you pick
that's
1,
not
2?
right. No, I was...
we're going to have to watch your picks.
Again, the time for the mile was 2:03 and 3/5 of a second. Some of us who are old enough to remember back when John Titus raced horses, it's been fun to go back and reminisce about some of those names. Rosalind's filly, John Raider, was a horse that I remember from my childhood that John Titus raced, and we remember John here with this third race. And again, we especially remember his service to his country in not just one war, but 2. Here's the full field rundown. It's official for that third race. Lewes Magnum was the winner. One Trip Chip, the runner-up. Send It Emmett finished 4th, and Ranging Motion was 3rd. The opening quarter in 31 seconds, the half in 1:02 and 1 3/4 in 1:33 flat. The time for the mile, 2:03 and 3/5. It reached down 1:243. The winning trotter, a gelded son of Lou's Legacy, owned and bred by the Flacco family farms of Alexis, trained and driven by Jill Brown. Race 4 is on the way. Driver change on number 3, Arcase Mac, and that'll be Jaquavian Carter. Number 3, Arcase Mac, Jaquavian Carter is the driver.
Make plans now to attend the 27th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale, which takes place on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Once again this year, the catalog will offer not only a strong lineup of Illinois-conceived and foaled yearlings, but also an excellent supporting cast of colts and fillies eligible to other state-bred programs in the Midwest and on the Eastern Seaboard. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 1st, beginning at 11 a.m. Central.
Kerr Auction is your trusted source for ag equipment, attachments, construction gear, trucks, trailers, and hard-to-find parts. With live and online auctions at kerrauction.com, you can bid from anywhere, field, job site, or front porch. From big equipment to small parts. If you need it, Kerr Auction has it. Don't miss your next deal. Check out kerrauction.com today. Kerr Auction, built for the working world.
All right, David, we're back up. You've got some stuff there that you want to do?
Sure, yeah. I wanted to read something here that Kurt Becker had posted about 8 hours ago yesterday about the Effingham County Fair Altamont. He said he spoke with someone yesterday who says seldom attended a harness race in her life. She and her sister went to the Effingham County Fair Sunday afternoon, deciding they would take his friend's nephew, age 6, to the races when Cassidy Witten moved between horses at the top of the stretch with white belly. In the open pace, she said her friend and the group began cheering so loud they even got a bruise or two from pounding their fists on the bleacher seat in excitement. And it's a reminder that county fair circuit is crucial to the development of fans to this game. And I think Kurt said that very eloquently. You know, you create so many fans out here at these county fairs when people can get up close and intimate with the animals. And I think it's paramount that we reinforce the fair program, especially here in Illinois, where we need any help we can get. Leanne's looking here like she needs something from me real quick, so I'm going to talk with her and get back to you.
All right, David, let's handicap real quick here.
Well, I went 1-3-2 in this one, but we're all in different directions, so we should see some separation in points before we toss it back to Kurt.
All right, back to Kurt.
$761, the Freddie Patton Sr. Memorial, gentleman out of Clinton, Mississippi, who passed away on June 29 of this year at the age of 84. He was a racehorse owner and trainer and driver and a friend to Illinois racing. He was one of the pioneers from the Deep South who began coming up here decades ago to race his stable on the Illinois County Fair Circuit, and we remember Mr. Freddie Patton Sr. with race 4. Number 1 is little old me, Clark Fairley. We told you he's our speed superintendent, of course. Clark makes his home in Lerna. He's the owner, trainer, driver of number 1. The 2 is Shady Maple Bridget, owned by Kevin Miller of Arthur. Kevin's the trainer, and Wyatt Avenatti is in the bike. Number 3, Arcase Mac, owned by the MM&D Racing of Charleston. And again, that is Mitch and Mike Titus and also Dennis Wright. Co-owned by Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi. Roshan the trainer. Jaquavian Carter. Contrary to the program, Jaquavian Carter is the driver of Arcase Mac. That is a filly, Arcase Mac, that turned a lot of heads when she went to the Illinois State Fair last year and popped up and won her elimination impressively in the Illinois State Fair Colt Stakes in a time of 1:56.3. They say there's no tougher place to win a horse race than at home. And she's a good example of that. Talented filly, accomplished filly, and wouldn't you know, when she raced here at the Coles County Fair at home, she broke stride last year. But the good news is she went from here, and a couple of weeks later turned in a big effort to win at the Illinois State Fair at Springfield. There's no getting around. Luck can be a big part of this game. And I want to preface this by saying I'm not suggesting that she would have won the Illinois State Fair Championship had it been contested in August. But I think she could have been a much stronger contender in the final had it not rained out and moved to September. Because racehorses, there's momentum. It's like any sport. Horses can get on a roll, and she got razor sharp in August last year. She rattled off not 1, not 2, but 3 consecutive wins, including that win in the eliminations at Springfield. Well, then the final got rained out. and they had to reschedule it a month later in September. And again, I want to be clear, I'm not taking away anything from the horses that finished in the top 3 because they were very strong fillies in their own right. But there's always the what if, and I know, you can't go down the what if road. It is what it is, but just looking at those past performances last summer, a person can't help but notice how RK's Mac was on a 3-race win streak at the time that the State Fair final got rained out and moved a month later into September. Well, right now, RK's Mac, along with Shady Maple Bridget and Little Old Me, they have all just reached the starting gate, and they're at the post, and the gate is rolling. Here they come. They are off in pacing in the Freddie Patton Senior Memorial. Race 4 in your scorecard, and there goes Little Old Me. Little Old Me, right out for the lead, will benefit and save ground by being along the inside lane all the way around that east turn of the racetrack and onto the backstretch and leads it, but only by a length. As Shady Maple Bridget will travel in second position, and RK's Mac is racing in third as the field heads up the backstretch and races toward the quarter-mile mark. It is Little Old Me who is the leader. With this time of day, when the sun starts dropping lower in the sky, I would love to talk to a driver and ask, are there ever problems staring into that sun? 29-4 for the opening quarter, 29 4/5 seconds. Something we all take for granted. These drivers make it look so easy. But I would think as we go deeper in this card, that sun starts dropping toward that far turn, there's surely got to be times where it's in the driver's eyes. They got to kind of squint and try to focus and make sure that it doesn't become a problem. Well, here's the bottom line. These 3 pacers are lined up nose to tail. 3 very capable drivers here, Clark Fairley, Wyatt Avenatti, and Jaquavian Carter. Off the half in 102 flat. The half in 102. Little Old Me leads it for Clark Fairley back around the east end of the racetrack. It opens up here by 2 lengths. Shady Maple Bridget is second by a length, and RK's Mac is third. All 3 very much in contention. They're at the midpoint of the backstretch. RK's Mac wants to go. That filly is determined, and Jaquavian Carter says, all right, if you want to go, it's time to go. There's only a quarter mile left here in race number 4. Little Old Me still has the lead. 132-1 at the 3 quarters. 132-1. Little Old Me by 3/4 of a length. RK's Mac is second up on the outside by a length, and Shady Maple Bridget is third as these 3 roll off the final turn. Little Old Me hanging tough for Clark Fairley. In fact, she's opened back up on a 3-4 length lead, and Clark is going to win this race. Little Old Me, Clark Fairley, and the race bike to win the Freddie Patton Senior Memorial, followed by Shady Maple Bridget and RK's Mac. We'll check the time for the mile. 2:01 flat. 2:01 flat, the time for the 1 mile distance. Little Old Me, Clark Fairley will meet the winner in just a moment.
Congratulations to Clark Fairley, owned, trained, and driven Little Old Me. And as Kurt was saying before that race, that 3-horse RK's Mac did win a elimination of the Illinois Colt Stake at the State Fair last year. So Little Old Me has beat some pretty stiff company. This filly has made a heck of a 3-year-old year. After going 0 for 9 as a 2-year-old, has now won 3 of 8 in this 3-year-old season. This filly is turned into blossoming into a nice, mature 3-year-old filly for Clark on this county fair circuit.
So you want him to say?
Jumped out to that race, took the opening quarter in 29-4, and from that point on, in a short field, you can kind of get left alone a little bit and keep the fractions how you want them. But Clark did a great job. He knew when Jaquavian moved, he knew how to get out of that turn. It's kind of a funky little turn here at Charleston. It bends around and then kind of angles towards the grandstand and kind of angles back. But Clark knows it better than anybody else and did a great job sneaking off there by a couple lengths and getting opened up by 3 or 4 lengths to get a lead there that couldn't be out driven by Jaquavian on the outside with RK's Mac.
Points are updated to David to let you know. Lisa got
Oh, she did, didn't she? She's having a good day. She's having a good day.
I got 5 points because I picked third right in.
Well, the folks here at the Coles County Fair, they know the horse business very well. The Freddie Patton Sr. Memorial Blanket in the Patton traditional stable colors of green with white trim. And the inaugural Freddie Patton Sr. Memorial will go to little old me, Clark Fairley, the owner, the trainer, and the driver of this 3-year-old Revenge Shark filly out of Movie Legend by Arts Place. Filly wins for the 3rd time in her career. She was a winner earlier this year at the Illinois State Fairgrounds at Springfield in June when she took her first lifetime victory. And she picks up the win here this evening in 201 flat with our superintendent of speed as her driver, Clark Fairley. I know that Clark knew Freddie Patton Sr. and had a great deal of respect for him and appreciated his friendship, and this is a moment that will mean a lot to Clark and to the Fairley family. How about a hand for the winner, little old me? I thought that was T. Tetrick standing out there at the head of this horse. The Tetrick family of Jeff, Illinois, down in Wayne County, longtime friends of the Fairley family. Mr. Freddie Patton Sr. was a man who trained horses like the Good Trotter SH4 and the County Fair Challenge-winning Pacer Smooth and Creamy. Had a lot of good horses, and that man right in front of the grandstand, Mr. Clark Fairley, has the honor of winning the Freddie Patton Sr. Memorial. Clark, congratulations. Thanks for all you do for racing. Here is the full field rundown for that 4th race. Little Old Me was the winner. Shady Maple Bridget, the runner-up, and RK's Mac was 3rd. The opening quarter, 29-4. The first half mile was 102 flat. 3 quarters, 132-1, and the time for the mile, 2:01 flat. Reads down 1, 2, 3. Thanks once again to our Miss Coles County Fair, Paige Schwint, and her Queen's Court, the Junior Miss, Callan Ballinger, and our Little Miss, Heidi Winkler. They all have been trackside helping congratulate our winners. Race 5 is on the way. There are no scratches in the 5th race. A reminder, the driver of the 3, RK's captain, Jaquavian Carter. Jaquavian Carter drives number 3. Brad Warner, take it away.
'24 Illinois County Fair Training Champion. Kev Miller's horses are built to win, and it all starts here. Ready to join a winning team? Call Kev at 217-254-0170 or send a message to the email address on the screen to learn more. Kev Miller Stables. Train to win.
Do you like to watch horse racing? Yeah. Do you not want to pay money for a stupid horse racing channel? Yeah. Are you sadly allergic to horses and you can't see them? Yeah. Well, introducing Harness Tube, established 2023. Yeah, I need to try this out. You can watch it at your son's ball game. Let's go, son! You can watch it while eating. Last but not least, you can watch it while you're sleeping. Yay, my horse won. Now everybody, make sure you like and subscribe to Harness Tube and keep the notifications on for more Harness Tube streams or future videos or future posts. Anything that I care for. Anything at all. Even if it's just like a 1-second video of a horse doing a backflip. I don't know. But you get the point. So, I hope this video is very informational, and thank you for watching. Peace out.
All right, David, your boys into the harness racing. I love the conversation that we had with Harrison after we got done at Newton, that he was watching the races. I don't know if he's got out there today. He's been in the chat or not been in the chat today.
I haven't seen him yet, but he might be busy today. But it's always fun to have them along and to have them contributing in the making commercials for me. Harrison's been a great help in learning how to utilize Clip Champ or Clip Cut or whatever apps we're using now to make videos and stuff. He's kind of showing me some cool tips and tricks, and Theo's animation there pretty dang neat too. So love having the boys on here on Harness Tube with me.
And we've got a full schedule for you this week.
We're not done yet.
We're here today. Tomorrow we're in Altamont. Noon start for that. About 9 races for us tomorrow. Wednesday, 9 races for you at Altamont, and then turn around at 5:30 and come back over here. I think we got 8 races on the card.
That sounds right, yeah.
And then Altamont back on Thursday, and that card just came out.
I haven't got it's
It's
not typed up yet, but it's in my inbox.
And then Charleston on Friday, 12:30. Then we're home.
Then we're home. Back
we'll
at
be
Mount
glad
Sterling.
for that. 2 p.m. starts, but particularly if you want to see top horses, 2-year-olds in the state of Illinois,
yes,
you want to be at the Downstate Classic, somewhere around $100,000 worth of prize money that
Absolutely. Coming from the Department of Ag, they do a great job putting on the program. That stake, the Downstate Classic, Brown County's been so fortunate to host it. We've got some rain lately in the last few years, but this year hopefully we're going to get them raced and going to see some really fast times and a lot of fast 2-year-olds.
All right. Want to let you know we're probably done this year because getting an ad done for you this week and on, and we've only got 3 races. We really want to talk to you about being on with us next year from the start. Will be Memorial Weekend unless they change something in Martinsville. And so we'd love to have you on board for that, or you can make a donation for us for this year to keep it, to pay for our expenses, keep it on the air for YouTube for free, that we don't have to charge anything for this. The fairs do love having us there. In fact, we got fairs that invite us to come and pay our expenses to get there.
Because they want to make sure we get to their fair. And you're absolutely right. This season it's probably a little bit late to maybe get you in. We could probably work something together. But more importantly, if you like what we're doing here, get in line for next year. We send out all the advertising work early to try to get stuff built in before the first fair so we can get you all in. But, of course, no one ever thinks about it until it's happening and it's race season. But, send an email. We'll get you into the list of advertising customers so you get included in when we send out the advertising rates next year and schedule next year and all that kind of stuff. You can be first in line then.
Absolutely. And also, you can donate. We thank our donors for helping us get online. Anything out there in the chat, David, that we need to talk about now?
Oh, Tim Wilson was texting me saying that we look good on the camera, but I told him he
good.
doesn't want to smell me right now. I'm a little sweaty, but
yeah, it's a little sticky out here. Lisa must have got a shot. I wasn't looking at it.
We're just glad to have our friends tuning in. And Mom's here texting me. She's saying she's watching from back home, and she's happy for Clark. She's saying stay safe like a mother would do, and we'd have to agree. We'd like Clark winning, and we're trying to stay cool the best we can, Mom. I think I hear a call to post. We're going to throw it back to Kurt Becker.
Horses are on the track for race 5. It is the Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old Colt and Gelding Pace, purse of $2,734. Driver of the 3, R-Case Captain Jaquavian Carter. Blanket sponsor in race 5, our friends at Mattoon Printing. Quick turnaround time, whether you've got a need for marketing or promotions. Students, when you've got to do a presentation and you have to do it well to please your professors, you might want to think about getting the materials from Mattoon Printing, especially if you're pursuing a doctorate. Right now, they are headed to the gate, race 5. Let's meet the starters. Number 1 is last year's County Fair Challenge winner at DuQuoin. That is He's a Dark Shark. Owned and trained by Kevin Miller of Arthur, owned also by Brian Lohman of Champaign, the driver Wyatt Avenetti. 2, Fox Valley Jupiter, owned and trained by Elizabeth Finn of Fairfield, the driver is Harold Finn Jr. Number 3 is R-Case Captain, owned by the MM&D Racing LLC of Charleston, of Mitch and Mike Titus and Dennis Wright, trained by Stan Swisher and the driver Jaquavian Carter. Race 5 at the post.
Okay, David, as we get ready for this race, let's kind of handicap it a little bit. Everybody went 1-3-2 on this.
Yeah, He's a Dark Shark's been really tough.
I am still surprised.
Go ahead.
I just was saying it was tough at the fairs and using the 3 on second, but I think they're getting pretty close. So we'll go ahead and toss it back, I think.
Okay.
So to speak, on both the sire side and the dam side of the pedigree, as horsemen like to say. Not only does he have that famous Finn name, but his mother's maiden name was Fagan. Another popular and accomplished racing family in Illinois. So Finn on the top side of the pedigree, the maternal side is Fagan, and his name is Harold Finn Jr. Here they come, race 5. They are off and pacing. There goes Fox Valley Jupiter with Harold Finn Jr., and He's a Dark Shark has speed, and He's a Dark Shark will be a step quicker into the first turn and has the early lead and opens up here by a couple of lengths as they swing around the turn as Fox Valley Jupiter goes second, and Arcay's Captain will settle at the back of the pack in third. Onto the backstretch they go. He's a Dark Shark is the leader by a length and a half. Fox Valley Jupiter goes second by a length, and Arcay's Captain is racing in the third position as these three pacers work their way past the quarter-mile mark here in race 5, the Mattoon Printing Race. 31-1 for the opening quarter, 31 and 1/5 seconds. And it is He's a Dark Shark who has the lead. He's a Dark Shark leads it by 2 lengths after 3/8 of a mile. Fox Valley Jupiter, and then Arcay's Captain, who's third as nobody steps out of line just yet. And these three sophomore pacing Colts and Geldings approach the halfway point and pass the stands here in this bowed out front straightaway on this historic true half-mile track. They go on by the half. He's a Dark Shark is the leader. He's a Dark Shark for Wyatt Avenetti out of Chrisman, Illinois. 105 for the first half mile, 105 flat. Back to the east side of the course they go, and He's a Dark Shark is opening up here and has the lead out to 3.5 lengths as they head onto the backstretch once again. Fox Valley Jupiter goes second by just a length, and Arcay's Captain is racing in the third position. He's a Dark Shark is threatening to give this field the slip, and that is why Arcay's Captain is now taking the outside and taking the second position from Fox Valley Jupiter. Don't count out Arcay's Captain just yet, giving chase 139 at the 3/4, 139, but He's a Dark Shark off 3/4 and 139 has plenty of pace. That was a controlled tempo, and it's going to pay off with a win as He's a Dark Shark now hits another gear and draws clear down the stretch. He's a Dark Shark wins it. He's a Dark Shark will open up and will win race 5, the Mattoon Printing Race, and wins it by a margin of 8 lengths. It was Arcay's Captain who was home in second position, and Fox Valley Jupiter was third. Corrected 3/4 time, 134, the corrected 3/4 time. And the mile is 2:03 and 3. So 134 flat at the 3/4, and the time for the mile, 2:03 and 3. He's a Dark Shark is your winner.
I'll bring myself back up anyway, see real quick. As Kurt was just saying before we went to the post on that last race, talking about Harold Finn Jr., not only is he a Finn, but he's also a Fagan. It was a pretty topical comment because I was just talking with Craig Grummel yesterday about Dave Fagan. He was asking where Dave was at. He said Dave used to be pretty close to the Grummel family. He said he trained a lot of their horses and drove for them down at Fairmount Park. So I think those of you out there in harness tube world remember the name Dave Fagan being a quality horseman and one of the best guys to come off the fair circuit, 30, 40 years ago anyway. I think he's still out there. If you have any whereabouts on where Dave's at, drop him in the chat. We'd love to hear from you and figure out how he's doing and where he's at. Speaking of the chat, looking down here, we have
Pick a winner, players. Let's take a moment and tell you there's a late scratch in the upcoming 6th race. In race 6, scratch number 6, Captain Trump. Late scratch, 6th race. Scratch number 6, Captain Trump, scratched sick. Well, returning in front of the stands now is the winner of race 5, taking the Mattoon Printing blanket. How about a hand for number 1? He's a Dark Shark. He's a Dark Shark bred by the Island Sun stable and owned and trained by Kevin Miller Arthur, co-owned by Brian Lohman of Champaign. That is back-to-back winners on the card, sired by Revenge Shark. This one out of Joyce's Choices by Art Major. 12 wins career after winning the County Fair Challenge as a juvenile last year, has bounced back and had another good season this year at 3. Thanks again to everybody at Mattoon Printing Center, and we appreciate their continued support of racing here at the Coles County Fair. Thanks again also to Queen Page and her court as they have congratulated Wyatt Avenetti out of Chrisman, Illinois, your winning driver here in race 5. Thank you, Judge. Our presiding judge is Randy Callahan. He says we are official for the 5th race. From the top, He's a Dark Shark was the winner. Fox Valley Jupiter third, and Arcase Captain was the runner-up. They got the opening quarter 31-1. The half was in 1:05. 3 quarters in 1:34 flat, and the time for the mile 2:03 and 3/5. Reads down 1-3-2. 6th race is coming up. A reminder, scratch the 6, Captain Trump. Also a reminder, a lot of driver changes on the 2, Trevor's Aristocrat, Matt Avenatti. Matt Avenatti drives the 2. On 3, Cupid's Dragon, Wyatt Avenatti. Wyatt Avenatti drives the 3. On the 4, Lavender Haze, the driver will be Mike Cox. Mike Cox, the driver for the 4, Lavender Haze. And on the 5, for the ladies' man, that'll be Jaquavian Carter. Jaquavian Carter drives number 5. All right, let's go back to Brad Warner.
Bring Kurt down then, and I'll throw up a chat here. We've got Nathan Hill in the chat saying you fellas are doing a heck of a job and keep up the good work. Well, we appreciate the compliments, Nathan. Thanks for tuning in and following us along here and engaging us in the chat. We love hearing from our fans.
Kurt makes our job pretty easy.
Kurt is awesome, doesn't he?
As I can refer to him, Wikipedia 1, and David is Wikipedia 2.
Kurt does such a good job. We're so fortunate in Illinois to have him. Not only can he call races with the best of them and offer the insight and all the little details, but he's so polished and professional and keeps things moving in a forward motion. And, when he's not here, I definitely notice,
Yeah, and as a wealth of information, and folks say a lot of that comes off his head, but I know that Kurt does a lot of studying before he gets to the racetrack and spends his evenings before so that he has the most current information about what's going on.
He's always researching, and he'll look through old magazines and make sure he has, all the old write-ups from the old days to make sure he's not missing a mark or a story. He does such a good job collecting all that information and passing it along to us.
And he does the same thing for
NASCAR,
Motor Racing Network in NASCAR, and we get some of that information at the racetrack.
I just want to make a comment there about what a great job Wyatt does. If you notice, he wins a lot of races, and sometimes Kevin's back there warming up his next horse and can't quite get to the winner's circle, but Wyatt does a really good job of getting off the bike and catching his own horse and getting it to pose for the camera, and then getting the blanket in his hands and getting back on the bike and back to the barn. Wyatt's
and even in Indicator, he did that with a baby.
With a baby in his hand, with a little Eliza in his hands. He does a great job as a horseman, as an ambassador for the sport. We couldn't be any more excited to have quality ambassador waving in front of the grandstand with that big cheesy grin on his face. He's always doing such a good job, shaking hands and everything. We appreciate the work he does. The little things.
I always used to say with him, because he's just a fun character to be around, is baby needs new shoes. Every time he wins, baby needs new shoes or baby needs milk.
Yeah, well, Augie's getting pretty big. I'm sure he can eat up out of house and home. But, Wyatt's a great father as well, but a great driver and a great human. We're really lucky to have a quality ambassador out there, promoting the sport from the inside out.
All right, let's go to race 6 here as we get 6/10 of the way through tonight's racing card, and had to change one of my picks up as the 6 got scratched.
Still not right on mine.
Okay, and I got to get yours right. What was yours?
Well, I'll handicap mine then, so you can just listen to me while I'm doing it. In today's 6th race, I went 5-4, using For the Ladies Man on top out of the Rochun Trigg barn, getting Fat Man Jaquavian Carter in the bike. This horse turned in a 1:02.5 flat last start out at Henry. The fastest last time out here over a half-mile track. I had to use that horse on top. My second choice, using Trevor's Aristocrat, locally trained horse, trained by Jill Brown, picking up Matt Avenatti, another quality human and a quality driver. Should do a great job with this horse. My third choice went to the 4, Lavender Haze, losing Jamaica, picking up Mike Cox between the wheels. It's an okay driver with me. I'll take that driver. I'm going 5-2-4. Where are the Surratts at?
I went 5-1-2.
Okay.
I've got the 5 and the 2 in there, but I went with the little-known horse. I originally had that horse in third. I probably should have left it in third, but I decided just to move it up and pick the 2 on the end of that. Tim Wilson's horse.
It's a Tim Wilson horse. It's a first-time starter, but you could uncork a monster here. We'll see, yeah.
We'll see what happens there. Lisa went 4-5. She went different than we did, and she, as you can see, she's leading the point. You know, she's picking a Jamaica patent horse, and then Trevor's Aristocrat, and then followed by the 5 for the Lady Man, and I'm pretty sure if she'd known Jaquavian was driving that horse, that would have an effect on her pick also.
Absolutely. I don't know if those of you could hear at home, but as Kurt was announcing the late scratch in today's 6th race, Captain Trump, the 6th horse, was a scratch. There was an audible gasp from the grandstand. Yeah, they were. I think a lot of people had picked that horse in the pick winner contest. I would say he's probably a pretty popular president in this neck of the woods from the reaction the crowd gave over there.
Yep, you're starting to get in pretty conservative territory down here, and that's perfectly okay.
But it's such a funny thing because it's a divisive thing. You expected to hear kind of a gamut of responses, but I think everyone in the grandstand was picking Trump in this one. So they had to move their pick to somebody else, though, for today's 6th race, and we'll see how that plays out, because like I said, we're having $50 pick of winners this week at Charleston, sponsored by various businesses in the area, and that's just a fantastic, reason to come out to the fair here at Charleston. There's 2 days of racing left. If you're not here now, get out here Wednesday night, get out here Friday afternoon. $50 pick of winners with some short fields. It's kind of easy money, right?
And Decatur, they gave away $100.
I know.
Guess who won the $100?
Doug.
Me.
You. Yeah. Both you guys
did. Doug
it all went home to Brown County that day.
Yeah. And folks, what we got to let's turn it back over to Kurt here.
Ken Waddell had a very warm, outgoing personality. Jim could be a little more skeptical. It took a little longer to get to know him, but once he accepted you, he would become a very good friend. And Jim wrote some excellent columns on racing over the years. And kind of like Ken did with broadcasting, Jim would cover local and area stables wherever they went across central and eastern Illinois. So for a lot of us, we just simply cannot step onto the grounds here without a lot of fond memories coming back over the decades. Right now, race 6, it is the Jack DeRoos Memorial. Starters are out.
Lisa's saying it's not fair that we're changing our picks. No, I didn't get David's picks in correctly. Yes, I did change my 3rd pick since the horse scratched last minute. I didn't figure it was a big
Horses are on the track for the Jack DeRoos Memorial. Jack passed away on July 8 at the age of 93, made his home in Charleston, had a tremendous career as an athlete in the baseball world. He played minor league baseball. He played for the Chicago Cubs minor league affiliate of the 1950s, the Paris Lakers. We found some articles online from the early 50s when Jack DeRoos began his baseball career. He had played baseball for a high school in Chicago, and he and a group of his buddies from that high school, they all piled into a 39 DeSoto and made the trip to a tryout for a Paducah, Kentucky minor league baseball team. And Jack was the guy that made the cut. And it just so happened that in that same league was the Paris Lakers. And the legendary Major League manager Lou Boudreau pointed out to people, he said, this Jack DeRoos can do it all. And that was true. Articles say that Jack played every position in high school except for pitcher. He was a fantastic athlete, good horseman, and a good friend. And right now we are remembering Jack with race 6, a maiden pace. Number 1 is Janetta Sue, owned by Wilson Racing Stable, also turned for home racing, and Donna Helt, trained by Tim Wilson Jr., Mike Johnson in the bike. 2, Trevor's Aristocrat, owned by the Flacco Family Farms, trained by Jill Brown. It is Matt Avenatti in the bike. 3, Cupid's Dragon, the first racehorse ever owned by Jamie Henderson of Lovington, the trainer Larry Plank, and the driver is Wyatt Avenatti. 4 is Lavender Haze, owned by Daryl Tilford of West Paducah, trained by Jamaica Patton, Mike Cox the driver. And number 5, For the Ladies Man, owned by Nelson Wade Jr. of Jackson, Mississippi, trained by Roshan Trigg, Jaquavian Carter in the bike. A reminder, number 6, Captain Trump is scratched. And here they come, race 6, Maiden Pace. Maiden classified as a non-winner of a purse race. Here they come. They are off and pacing. There goes Trevor's Aristocrat out for the lead. Cupid's Dragon gets away in good order and second up on the outside. Janetta Sue comes away in third. Lavender Haze is fourth, and For the Ladies Man last of the 5 as they swing around the first turn and head on to the back stretch. Trevor's Aristocrat is the leader. Trevor's Aristocrat is on top, but only by a length and a half as Janetta Sue moves up a closer second. That filly making her first career start here this evening, and she's in a good position early on in that second spot. Cupid's Dragon, only second career start, is racing along in third, and Lavender Haze is in the fourth position. 31-2 for the opening quarter, 31-2 For the Ladies Man is last of the 5. Around that west turn they go. Talked about the drivers wondering if they ever have problems staring into the sun. Those driving colors get backlit this time of day on the west end of the racetrack. That can be tricky for track announcers. It is Matt Avenatti, though, with Trevor's Aristocrat who leads. Here comes Lavender Haze, moving from fourth into third, and now to challenge for second. Trevor's Aristocrat is the leader, and Lavender Haze moves up on the outside. 105, the time for the first half mile, 105. Lavender Haze second on the outside on the east turn, a length off the lead, but has to travel an extra distance of ground around that turn. Janetta Sue is still there toward the inside, but now in third. Cupid's Dragon is in fourth, and For the Ladies Man last of the 5, and there's another move from Lavender Haze, this time to take the lead, and Janetta Sue is taking to the outside from third, and now is up to take second away from Trevor's Aristocrat, who now loses another spot toward the inside, but Lavender Haze is the leader. 1:36-2, the time at the 3/4, 1 minute 36 and 2/5 seconds. It is Lavender Haze leading it by a length and a half. How about the first-time starter, Janetta Sue? She's giving a fine account of herself on debut. She's second, but that's a very nice debut, even if she doesn't catch the leader. Lavender Haze is the leader. Lavender Haze is the winner in the Jack DeReese Memorial. Mike Cox, your winning driver. Lavender Haze won it by 2 lengths. Good effort. Janetta Sue was home second. Then there was a gap of another nearly 10 lengths back to Cupid's Dragon, who was third. Trevor's Aristocrat fourth, and For the Ladies Man was fifth. Time for the mile, 2:06 and 4/5 of a second. 2:06 and 4/5. Lavender Haze, your unofficial winner.
Bring myself back up here, and Timmy Wilson, next time you're sending a bomb here to light up the tote board, let me know, brother. That's a first-time starter with a nice mile right there for Janetta Sue. A hard closing second-place finish for Michael Johnson in the bike, but just Lavender Haze was a little bit too much today out here in the Jack DeReese Memorial. Good to see Stacy climbing out of his starting gate to come present the trophy for his late father, Jack. As Kurt was talking about Jack's prowess on the baseball field, those of you remember his prowess on the golf course as well. Jack would always bring his clubs when he would travel from fair to fair, and always find the local course, the local links to hit, either by himself or with other fellow horsemen. But fondly remember Jack traveling around from fair to fair, sitting around drinking his coffee mug, didn't know a stranger and was happy to talk to you and could fix a spoked wheel with the best of them. Tim Wilson said that's a decent start. Said he'll take it. I wouldn't be too mad with the second place finish for a first-time starter, and a fine mile too. You know, did nothing wrong. Was competitive. Was gaining.
Every time the name Jack DeReese comes up, one cannot help but think of DeLady Sue, the homebred trotting distaffler that won the Illinois State Fair Championship for Jack with son Stacy in the race bike that day at the Illinois State Fair at Springfield. Jack DeReese, that was an incredible life in the world of sports and athletics. baseball career, later a career in the harness racing business. We remember Jack DeRoos this evening. How about a hand for the winner of his memorial, Lavender Haze? Jamaica Patton, the trainer, and Darrell Tilford of West Paducah, Kentucky, is the owner of this Yankee Cruiser, Pennsylvania-bred 3-year-old filly, bred by the Anvil and Lace Farm, and also Steve Toke of Kentucky. First career win for Lavender Haze. This filly was a $65,000 yearling. And sometimes what happens, sometimes folks will give pretty good money for a horse, and maybe things don't work out as well or as quickly as they want. Some of those big stables, they'll shell out $65,000, but it better happen, and it better happen quickly, or they're going to cut their losses and move on. And what that means is, so often there are other stables that can pick up a filly like this for a song, as the saying goes. And this filly now has found a good home. She's a winner, and she has won the Jack DeRoos Memorial. Mike Cox, your winning driver. There's that purple and blue blanket. Congratulations to our winning connections. And that blanket, of course, in the DeRoos family stable colors. Aaron DeRoos, Jack's grandson, he was, I think, the very first person I saw when I arrived on the grounds this evening. I thought, how appropriate for Aaron to be the first person one sees as we remember his grandfather here tonight. There's Stacy emerging from the starting gate. He drives the gate here tonight. And our thanks to the DeRoos family. Jack DeRoos was popular both inside the industry and out. Some of us have friends who work in jobs around central Illinois, and I spoke with a gentleman from my hometown of Altamont who got to know Jack because this fellow had a job at Walmart as a registered pharmacist, and he texted me one day. He said, I met a man by the name of Jack DeRoos and got the biggest kick out of talking to him. And they talked about racing and baseball and absolutely had a great time. So we remember Jack here this evening, 93 years of age when he passed just under a month ago. Judge, are we official? Randall Callahan says we are good to go. Here's the full field rundown for race 6. Janetta Sue was the runner-up. Trevor's Aristocrat 4th. Cupid's Dragon 3rd. Lavender Haze, the winner for the ladies' man, finished 5. Captain Trump was scratched 31 and 2 for the opening quarter. The half in 105. 3/4 136 and 2/5. The time for the mile 206 and 4. Reads down 243 15 scratch. Always smile when I think about Jack DeRoos winning races, sitting in that race bike and still winning when he was 86 years of age. Amazing. 7th race is on the way, the Illinois Harness Horsemen's Association event. Mike Cox, the driver for the 1. Mike Cox will drive 1. Hype your bestie up. On the 2, Miss Larry, Harold Fenn Jr. Put Harold Fenn Jr. on the 2. And Kajavian J.J. Carter will drive number 3, Ashley's Lil Angel. Race 7 on the way. Right now, let's go back to Brad Warner.
Avenatti Racing, a third-generation, family-run stable with a legacy of excellence. Centrally located between Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky racing programs, Avenatti Racing specializes in buying yearlings, breaking, training, and racing top-performing standardbreds. Call 217-840-6469 or email avenattiracing@gmail.com today. Avenatti Racing, from yearling to racetrack, we build contenders.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
David, as we get ready here, Downstate Classic coming up at Brown County for the 2-year-olds on Sunday. Around $100,000 worth of prize money. if there's one day of racing you want to get to, it's to see these 2-year-olds running for some money.
Absolutely. The best horsemen, the best horses in the state show up for that event. We're really fortunate to host it there at the Brown County Fair. But yeah, it should be an exciting day. Some fast racing and some, it's a time of the season where we start seeing the horses kind of iron themselves out, and you can kind of separate who's who in the class systems. And it's a really fun time to see who's going to step up and be competitive in that state class.
And we want to encourage people to get out to the county fairs. I mean, they need your support to keep going, folks. If the county fair is close to you and there's harness racing, come to it. If we're there, we'd love to talk to you. Lisa'd love to talk to you up in the stands. We'd love to talk to you if you happen to be around where we're broadcasting before or afterwards.
And if they're doing $50 pick of winners, go ahead and just guess on some horses.
Absolutely. Or pick amongst yourselves.
Absolutely. We saw a group where we were at last in Lewiston that they were pulling cards out just to draw for horses, and they were having the absolute most fun as a family, just betting amongst themselves. But it just gives you a reason to follow a horse and cheer for somebody, even if you don't know quite what you're following.
Well, David, I've got the points updated on the board. Lisa out there, even though she says we're cheating over here.
Yeah, does she want to win by a mile or what?
80 points on the board there, Lisa. You got a 16-point lead. Somebody could get a trifecta, and that'd be the only way they'd pass. But David's not going to pass you.
She would have to miss.
Yeah. 4-1-3 for both David and Lisa. Explain your picks.
Going 4-1-3 in this, Philly's Revenge. That filly is just way too tough at these county fairs, turning in that 57 and 1 mile. At Rushville was a heck of a mile. So using that horse on top, I think she can bend around these turns quite well. My second choice, using Hype Your Bestie Up out of Jamaica's Barn. She's been, ultra tough at some of the bigger pari-mutuel tracks. She can compete with the best of them. Using her second, we'll see how she gets around this county fair half-mile oval. My third choice, using Ashley's Little Angel out of the Rochun Trigg Barn for Flacco Family Farms and Rochun Trigg owner. This horse has 2 starts back, has a win at Paris in 58 flat. Just think there's enough speed here to hold off maybe Miss Larry in the 2-horse. So I'm going 4-1-3 in this race. Looks like Lisa's the same. Where are you at, Steve?
4-3-2. I went the same as you did on top, but I went with Ashley's Little Angel. Now I'm really happy with that horse now that J.J. Carter is driving that horse. And then for my third pick, I went with the 2. I went with Harold Finn's driving Miss Larry, Stan Swisher trained horse. I look for consistency. I look for, that horse at Springfield. Back a half in the race that it did over there. Ran a 159, but it was only 6 back from the leader that ran the 159. And 3 back on 156. So I'm thinking there's opportunity there.
Yeah, and I want to take this time to give a big shout-out on the screen there. You can see Lisa has a great shot of it. We have Tony Joe Bell and Kelly Joe Avanetti now, and Matt Avanetti. The 2 on the right were wedded in bliss a couple days ago. Kelly and Matt have been dating for a long time and got married a couple days ago. We want to wish them the most success, the best life in marriage, a long, happy life together.
And where's a harness race family going to go? If somebody's raised with horses.
Racing to a fair. I'm pretty sure they had
honeymoon's at the fair.
I think they had 2 bikes sitting up with garland on it as kind of their archway, which is pretty cool. But I didn't see all the pictures, so we'll see. I think I heard a call to post. I'm going to turn an ear to that real quick to see.
Yep, we'll go with that.
We are.
Race 7 for a purse of $1,700 for Illinois-bred pacing fillies and mares age 3 and older. Number 1 is Hype Your Bestie Up, owned by Cedric Daniels of Jackson, Mississippi, co-owned by the trainer Jamaica Patton of Rochester, Illinois. Contrary to the program, the driver Mike Cox. Number 2, Miss Larry, owned by Lester Detweiler of Sullivan, MM&D Racing of Mike and Mitch Titus and Dennis Wright of Charleston, the trainer Stan Swisher, the driver Harold Finn Jr. Number 3, Ashley's Little Angel, owned by the Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, co-owned by Rochun Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi. He's also the trainer. Contrary to the program, Kajavian J.J. Carter will be the driver. Number 4, Philly's Revenge, races for owner Nan Turner, who's also the breeder. She comes to us out of Argenta. The trainer, John Fletcher. Wyatt Avanetti is the driver. Approaching the starting gate over on the backstretch for race 7. big thank you once again to all of our parking attendants around the grounds here this evening. I know that when you drive through the gate, you're not sure where you are allowed to park. It is helpful when the staff approaches with a smile, and they're happy to point you in the right direction. So thank you one and all, and especially those of you this evening who have also been helping guide traffic at the appropriate time to the infield across the home stretch. We appreciate your help in the interest of safety here tonight. Right now at the post, gate is rolling. It is the 7th of our 10 races. Thanks for spending part of your Monday evening at the 171st Coles County Fair. And away they go, and there goes Philly's Revenge, firing out for the lead from the far outside, and she is moving quickly into that first turn. A great job by Wyatt Avenatti, using every inch of the racetrack to make sure that that very fast-pacing mare had enough real estate to place all of that speed and keep moving, and she did just that without ever having to hit the brake around that first turn. Philly's Revenge, as a result, has opened up on a 5-length lead. Hype Your Bestie Up is in second by 2. Ashley's Little Angel is third by 3.5, and Miss Larry is fourth. 28 flat for the opening quarter, fastest opening quarter of the program thus far, and Philly's Revenge, a filly with a very high cruising speed, has the advantage. She leads it by 6 lengths now, coming on down toward the half. Hype Your Bestie Up is racing in second, Ashley's Lil Angel third, and then a break of 5 more lengths back to Miss Larry, who's last. Halfway home in race 7, the Illinois Harness Horsemen's Association race. They go by the half with Philly's Revenge setting the tempo 57-2 for the first half mile, 57 2/5 seconds. Around the east turn and over to the backstretch once again with 5/8 of a mile complete. It is Philly's Revenge who is the leader. And Wyatt Avenatti now urges her on because he knows that she's not safe just yet. Hype Your Bestie Up's a very good pacing mare herself, and she's still within 5 or 6 lengths with a quarter mile to go. And Wyatt's a very savvy driver. 3/4, 126, a strong 3/4. Philly's Revenge still maintains that lead. It is still 6, closer to 7 lengths now with 1/8 of a mile to go. She makes the bend into the home stretch here at the Coles County Fair, maintains that 7-length advantage. It is one of the fastest pacing mares we have ever seen on the Illinois County Fair circuit, and her name is Philly's Revenge, and she wins here in race 7. Wyatt Avenatti aboard. Philly's Revenge wins it by a diminishing 3-length margin over Hype Your Bestie Up, who was second. 5 more lengths back to Ashley's Lil Angel third, and 7 more behind her. Miss Larry finished in fourth. Time for the mile, 1 minute 57 3/5 seconds. Fastest mile thus far on the card, 1:57 3. Philly's Revenge, your winner.
Bring myself up here. Another nice mile out there. Philly's Revenge. Wyatt was absolutely screaming off the gate in the opening quarter in 28 seconds flat. Didn't need to leave that hard as he gapped on Hype Your Bestie Up by a handful of lengths there, but he knew what he was doing, as in the end he was about 2 or 3 lengths the best, which was plenty to hold off late closing Mike Cox.
Checking the updated trainer standings through race 7, it is Jamaica Patton who has taken the lead with 11 points, and then you've got Kevin Miller, Stan Swisher, Roshan Trigg all tied for second with 8 points apiece. Again, $250 from the Coles County Fair will go to our champion trainer of the week at the conclusion of Friday's races. Point system, 5 points for a win, 3 points for second, 1 point for a third place finish. That's how those points are tabulated throughout the course of these 3 racing programs this week. Well, 1:57 3, that's not a track record, but it is still a very fast mile, and it's always fun. It never gets old seeing a harness horse at a county fair break that 2-minute barrier. How about a hand for number 4, Philly's Revenge? This is the 34th career, can you believe that? 34th career win for this Illinois-bred daughter of Revenge Shark, who has sired 3 winners now on the card. Incredible Filly, the first dam, also raced for owner Nan Turner. And Nan, who grew up in Pana, makes her home in Argenta, is the winning owner breeder. There's John Fletcher. Hello, John. He's giving us a wave. That's the winning trainer. And that is a driving double for Wyatt Avenetti, Filly's Revenge, 157-3. She is something else now. She just gets keyed up and ready to go, and when they start the race, she wants to go right out to the front and just go winging it. Thank you, Judge. Our judge, Randy Callahan, says we are official. Here's the result for that 7th race. Hype Your Bestie Up was the runner-up. Miss Larry was 4th, Ashley's Little Angel 3rd, and Filly's Revenge the winner. 28 seconds at the quarter, 57-2 at the half, 3/4 in 1:26, and the time for the mile, 1 minute 57 and 3/5 seconds. It reads down 2-4-3-1. Filly's Revenge, 3rd in the Abe Lincoln here last year, but returns with a vengeance and wins in race 7. In the upcoming 8th race, a reminder, scratch the 4, Ideal Big Guy, and scratch the 6, Mr. Kid. Scratch the 4, Ideal Big Guy, already raced and was a winner earlier today at the Effingham County Fair at Altamont. And the 6, Mr. Kid, is scratched sick. Couple of driver changes on the 1, Fox Valley Langley. Mike Cox will be the driver of the former Illinois Horse of the Year, Fox Valley Langley. And the driver of number 5, Cosmic Mega Playboy, Harold Finn Jr. Harold Finn Jr. drives the 5. All right, Brad Warner, take it away.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
All right, David got us both back up here as we get ready for race 8 here. And let's see what happens with race 8 as I've got to change some things here.
I'll give a quick shout out. We have Blaine Rowe watching from down there in Alabama, shooting me some text. We're having a nice little chat on the side over here. Blaine was watching the races over there at Springfield Friday, cheering for Mike Brink. He said he's going to come back and try to hopefully make it for Mount Sterling this weekend. So we wish him safe travels, and we'll see you this weekend, bud.
Well, and I talked to his brother last night.
Did you really?
Yeah, we had a conversation about Blaine last night.
That's funny.
And that Blaine let Brent know that he got mentioned on the air.
He's getting famous, huh?
He is. And so, yeah, we appreciate that and appreciate all of the viewers and listeners out there. Of course, Pebbles is out there. We know she's ever present, I would say.
She said, I can't remember one of the fairs we were at earlier, she was so excited cheering for her boys that she almost wrecked her truck. I guess she's a big rig driver or something. We want to make sure she stays safe and cheering for those boys. But I know how a mother's love can be quite overwhelming at times, as I've heard my mom. She was cheering for Doug the other day at Lewiston, so it never ends. The older you get, she's still going to have those nerves there. But she loves those boys. She cheers for them hardcore, and, you know, that's just always special to see.
You're still your mama's boy,
it
even
never goes away.
Age you are.
Doug's 40, and he's still, you know, making mom nervous out there. But we're glad that she could follow along, and we're glad that her boys are up here, you know, racing in Illinois and giving us some good, fun, exciting races up here.
Well, Lisa kept our streak going out there as we'll get over to that here in a minute. Hey, favorite fair. We'd love to hear from you about the favorite fair of yours, why it's your favorite, and what makes it so great.
And every fair has their own their secret gem, whether it be the pork burger, or the tractor pull or something. And everyone's known for something, and we'd love to hear what your favorite is, because as we travel around to all these fairs, we like experiencing those things as well. We like traveling to all these neat, the fairs that do a great job, that try so hard, really get our admiration here at Harness Tube. We want to make sure we promote them the best we can. So give us your shout-outs of your fairs so we can share them as well.
Yep, you can share those with us on the chat on YouTube. We'd love to hear from you on that, or texting David, like Tim Wilson did, 312-772-5122. That's 312-772-5122. David, your name's going to be in harness racing like mine is at Brown County Ball Games. Everybody's got my number.
Well, that's a burner number for that reason, but I had the forethought to do that enough. I found that Google Voice numbers are free, so I went and got one of those.
Okay.
But it redirects right to my phone, so it comes in through an app. But either way, I can check it pretty easily, just in case. You never know who's out there. This is public, but
yeah. And I've got that's going to be wrong.
Run a commercial?
I'll put it back. Nope.
Right back to where we were at.
Yep. I've got to get Harold Finn in there as the.
Harold's driving the 5, right? Is that what I heard?
Cosmic Mega Playboy.
Kurt,
not just a Playboy, but it's a Mega Playboy.
Kurt was talking earlier about him being a Fagan, and that's some pretty deep horse racing blood to be a Fagan and a Finn. Not that he has high expectations for himself, but the talent's definitely there, and I think I hear a call to post. I'm going to throw it back to Kurt Becker.
Horses are on the track for Race 8, the Colden Gelding division of the IHHA race. You can visit the IHHA online, harnessillinois.com, or visit their Facebook page. Number 1 is Fox Valley Langley, owned by Judge Lyle Lipe of Springfield, owned by trainer Jamaica Patton of Rochester, owned by Dietrich Kelly of Canton, Mississippi, the driver, contrary to the program, Mike Cox. 2, Vertical Speed. Let's see if he can make it 6 in a row. He's owned by Kevin and Daryl Miller of Arthur, trained by Kevin Miller, Wyatt Avenatti in the bike. 3, Dash Around is owned by Clark and Kay Fairley of Lerna and Charleston Liz Fairley of Lerna, trained by Clark. And Clark, again, he's our speed superintendent. He's going for win number 2 tonight. He is the driver. Scratch the 4, Ideal Big Guy. 5 is Cosmic Mega Playboy, owned by Betty Landman of Charleston, trained by Stan Swisher and the driver Harold Finn Jr. Number 6, Mr. Kid, is scratched. At the post, gates rolling, ready to go here in Race 8. Pick a winner, players. Remember, Race 9, scratch the 3, Noble Prize. Pick a winner, players. Race 9, scratch the 3, Noble Prize. Right now, Race 8, ready to go. They are off and pacing. There goes Vertical Speed. Quickly grabs the racetrack and gets the lead into the first turn and slides down to that inside lane to save some ground, having cleared with the lead, as Fox Valley Langley will go second around the first turn. Dash Around comes out racing in third, and Cosmic Mega Playboy last of the 4, but right there with the rest as they make the curve into the back stretch. It is Vertical Speed, the leader. Vertical Speed leads it by 2 lengths. Fox Valley Langley goes second by a length. Dash Around is third by a length, and Cosmic Mega Playboy fourth and last, but again lines up right there with the others in single file formation. 30 2/5 for the opening quarter. 30 2/5 of a second. Vertical Speed got the lead at the start, and again he's the pacer that's been rattling off wins every week on the statewide county fair circuit. He's won 5 in a row coming into this program. Leads it here by a length and a half. Fox Valley Langley is right there second, drafting behind the leader. Dash Around in good position third, and so really is Cosmic Mega Playboy, maybe fourth, but again very much in contention here, just 3 to 4 lengths off the lead. 102 2 for the first half mile. 102 2/5 of a second back through the east turn past the stable area, and the watchful eye of the horseman lined up along the outside fence. It is Vertical Speed who's the leader. Vertical Speed leads it by 2 lengths, by 2.5, by 3 lengths now. Fox Valley Langley is under urging from Mike Cox. He's trying to get going. Dash Around is picking up the tempo, but still third, and Cosmic Mega Playboy last of the 4, still single file over to the final turn. Vertical Speed leading Fox Valley Langley 133 the time, 133. Dash around comes to the outside third, but is nearly 5 lengths off the lead. There's less than an eighth of a mile to go. Vertical Speed is the leader. Vertical Speed, a 5-length lead in deep stretch at the Coles County Fair here in race 8. It's a side-by-side battle for second. Fox Valley Langley and Dash around. No catching. Vertical Speed, he does it. Vertical Speed has won 6 in a row. And he won it here tonight by nearly 5 lengths on the line, followed by Fox Valley Langley in second. Dash Arounds was third, and Cosmic Mega Playboy was fourth. 2:01 flat was the time for the mile. 2:01 flat. Vertical Speed, number 2, your unofficial winner.
And we're back after that 8th race today. Vertical Speed proven to be too much at these county fairs, going, 6 for 6 in the last starts out there, holding off that tough competition of Fox Valley Langley, who was the Illinois Horse of the Year, his 2-year-old season. But either way, no shade. Vertical Speed is a heck of a 4-year-old by Stevensville out of Let's Go BB by Don't Get in My Way. This 4-year-old gelding is owned by Kevin and Daryl Miller of Arthur, just up the road here. Has banked close to $70,000 a lifetime, taking a mark of 53 and 1 at Hoosier Park. But more importantly, is ultra tough at these county fairs, can bend around these turns as best as anybody. Good to see Daryl Miller coming to the winner circle out there on the track, and Lindora and Kevin coming out now. Supporters of Harness 2.
Winning co-owner and trainer Kevin Miller, who bases his stable at the Champaign County Fairgrounds in Urbana. Kevin and wife Lindora coming trackside here for the 8th race blanket presentation. Our thanks again to the Illinois Harness Horsemen's Association. They are kind enough to sponsor this special series of races across the statewide county fair circuit every summer and have done so for many years. Wyatt Avenatti heating up in the race bike. He's won 3 of the last 4 races, goes back-to-back in race 7 and 8. Kevin Miller, he is climbing on up the leaderboard. He is now second only to Jamaica Patton in the very early trainer standings for the week. Jamaica has 14 points. It is 13 for Kevin Miller, and that's the way things stand through that 8th race. Vertical Speed races for Kevin and Daryl Miller. There's Daryl Miller. He made the trip here this evening from his home in Arthur. And Vertical Speed just keeps on winning races. That is 6 wins in a row, 7 wins on the season, 25 career wins lifetime for this 4-year-old gelded son of Stevensville, bred by the Victory Lane Standardbreds. How about a hand for Vertical Speed? Brad Warner will assist with the blanket presentation along with Brenda Watson from the Illinois Harness Horsemen's Association. As everybody moves in and we get set, as Denise Titus is not only our photo finish technician, but our trackside winner's circle photographer here this evening as well. There's a nice pat on the back for driver Wyatt Avenatti, and why not? 3rd win on the night. Congratulations to our winning connections. Here's the full field rundown. It is official for that 8th race. From the top, Fox Valley Langley was the runner-up. Vertical Speed was the winner. Dash Around was 3rd. Ideal Big Guy was scratched. Cosmic Mega Playboy finished 4th, and Mr. Kid was scratched. The quarter, 30 and 2/5 seconds. The half, 1:02 and 2. 3 quarters in 1:33 flat, and the time for the mile, 2:01 flat. Reads down 2:13 scratch for scratch. 9th race is on the way, the open trot, the Carl Steve Wagoner Memorial. Scratch number 3, Noble Prize. Number 3, Noble Prize is scratch. The reason given by the trainer was personal. Driver for the 2, Zena Lou, that'll be Wyatt Avenatti. Number 2, Zena Lou, make the driver Wyatt Avenatti. And the driver of number 5, Lou's Miracle, Jaquavian Carter. Number 5, Lou's Miracle, Jaquavian Carter is the driver. Let's go back to Brad Warner.
Make plans now to attend the 27th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale, which takes place on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Once again this year, the catalog will offer not only a strong lineup of Illinois-conceived and foaled yearlings, but also an excellent supporting cast of colts and fillies eligible to other state-bred programs in the Midwest and on the Eastern Seaboard. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 1st, beginning at 11 a.m. Central.
Kerr Auction is your trusted source for ag equipment, attachments, construction gear, trucks, trailers, and hard-to-find parts. With live and online auctions at kerrauction.com, you can bid from anywhere, field, job site, or front porch. From big equipment to small parts. If you need it, Kerr Auction has it. Don't miss your next deal. Check out kerrauction.com today. Kerr Auction, built for the working world.
We'll bring ourselves back up before this 9th race. I want to go ahead and give a couple shout-outs here. First one I want to give, Kurt just went ahead and was talking about how Denise Titus is not only our winner's circle photographer, but also the photo finish photographer. And I want to go ahead and give a shout-out to young Trotter Titus, who looks like he's running the photo finish up there in the grandstand. He's going to be, I believe, a sophomore in high school, and quite the young wrestler. I think as a freshman, he went to state in wrestling, took sectionals, I believe, or at least was on the podium anyway. But either way, glad to see him involved, see him out there, and also look forward to him on the mats for Charleston. But a shout-out here I want to give. We have a friend of ours, someone who's been texting all season long and someone who's finally getting into our chat group. But Sean Nessa is watching in his favorite fair. It's not really a fair, it's a state fair, but we'll kind of name it because it's such an iconic place. But he said his favorite by far is DuQuoin, the best place to watch races. Having grown up and seen all the magnificent miles over that surface, I'd have to agree. It's pretty magical to watch a horse race at DuQuoin. He talks about the food stands down there, and I have to remember my brother Butch turning me on to a place. There was a $1 burger stand at the DuQuoin State Fair, kind of behind the grandstand, where we would stop every year and just fill up on $1 burgers and ride the big swing crane ride thing and race horses for a week long. So I'd have to agree that DuQuoin is pretty magical. And
so those are probably $5 burgers now?
They're probably $5 burgers now. I think it was a dollar slice of pizza and a dollar burger. But, man, it was a lot of fun and some great racing down there. That surface is absolutely magical. And all you have to do is open the history books and see the biggest names in our sport have went through that oval and put on some fantastic races right here in the state of Illinois.
Well, we don't have any ducks, but we got a goose.
The geese are feeding, aren't they?
Yep. And so, yep. And if you want to advertise with us next year, like I say, it's kind of hard to get something in this week.
Yeah.
With us being down here, if you really wanted to be in, we'd be more than happy to try to
get
something done. But put us on your calendar for 2026. This year we had 26 race dates on the books when we started. Got knocked down to 25, I believe.
With the combined, yeah.
Yeah, and then with the combines, it got a little less than that because we had a 24 race card, 22, something like that.
Up at Decatur. I think we're going to get we're on 8, what is today, the 18th race we've been to, 19th, something like that?
I'm not sure.
Only 15. I was wrong. I was looking at
Yeah, 15 and only, we're going to end up still at 23 with the rainouts or so.
For sure.
But with that, I want you to think about doing that.
But we're trying to add as many fairs as we can. I think last year we hit about 17, 18 fairs. We're going to hit over 20 this year. We're going to keep trying to add as many as we can to cover all the horse racing for you. The goal is not just to get the big races and all the big exciting stakes, but if you have a horse racing in Illinois or if you're a fan of a horse in Illinois, we want to make sure we can cover it for you no matter how big the purse is, if it's $800 or $8,000.
Yes. And so with that, we need you to like or subscribe us also on YouTube and on Facebook, but mostly on YouTube. Subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Where are we at with that?
977. We keep climbing up. Every day we ask, we are receiving. So we shall keep asking, though. We appreciate all of you so far. And if you have any burner accounts floating around out there, or grandma's got an account or something, some email address that maybe isn't getting used, go ahead and give us another subscription. We'd sure appreciate all the help we can get. We're starting to keep that growth continuing, and that's just a good thing in the eyes of the algorithm.
David, I don't know what happened with your picks, but it says 1, 2, 4 in every single one of them. So I don't know what happened with your picks as far as that.
I think you reverted back to a different version of the file before I put in my picks because
4-1-2.
That was just copying the race from slide to slide. It would be
Okay.
1-4-2. So I'm 4-2 or 4-1-2 in this race.
4-1-2. We'll get that changed here.
But I'll go ahead and handicap since I'm talking about it. We don't have it on the screen, but we'll talk about it anyway. Today's 9th race would be the Open Trot. I went 4-1-2. Like I said, using Lou's Raptor on top. That 9-year-old gelding has made over $250,000 lifetime with a mark of 54 flat. Too much class to use. Been winning out here at the fairs recently. Jill knows how to get done with that horse. I'm using it on top. My second choice was Mariah Lou, the other horse out of that barn, picking up Matt Avenatti in the bike. Getting the rail, you know, and that horse also has made over $50,000. Can trot around this home track quite well, I think. My third choice using the Xena Lou, the other Jill Brown trainee, picking up Wyatt in the seat. That horse is fresh off 2 wins. The last couple starts out with a mile of 2.5 and 2 at Farmer City and a mile of 2.6 flat at Urbana. I think there's a lot of class here. I didn't know which driver was going to be driving which horse, so I kind of picked the horse I knew would get the horse. Not that picking up Wyatt Avenatti is actually ever a bad thing at a fair, but just wasn't sure who that would be, so I just kind of went 4-1-2 with my picks. But looking up at you guys, we were all over the board on this one.
Yeah, I'm Lisa's 4-2-1. She's with the lead 100 points so far for the day. I went 2-4-5. I like Xena Lou, and I like it even better now that Wyatt Avenatti is driving that horse for Jill Brown. That horse has just been consistently good, no less than a top 4. And in that one race, that was the first race of the year. It was 14 lengths back. But if you look at all the rest of them, it's fairly close there. So I'm saying breakout time for Xena Lou.
Yeah, absolutely. These are all horses that are competitive. They're trained together. You know, they know each other real well. They're out of the same stable. You're getting, you know, the trainer on one and 2 brothers on the other one are both capable, so there's a lot of talent here. You could basically throw them in a pill bottle and shake them up and pick your one. But I just was going with the horse that maybe had the most money on the card, maybe overall class. But, you know, horses go through seasons in life just like people do, so it could be anyone's game here. And don't toss out the 5 horse with Fat Man in the bike, Lou's Miracle. For Chris Brown, this is another Flacco family horse. But was out trotting in 2.6 last start at Urbana, which is just on par with some of the other horses. So we know that any horse can make this interesting, and we'll just see who gets the best drive, we'll say, or best trip.
All right, we're waiting for Kurt Becker to come in. We'll get his mic up so we can hear him come back in.
Lisa's, I'll say it's kind of like bowling, we'll say, our scoring system. If you're batting over 10 points a race, you're doing pretty good, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of the way it works out. And even though we can't keep track of all of our guest picks, I think we can maybe get an average per race or average per day or something and kind of compare those numbers that way, because it'll be interesting to see where those guest pickers fall between Mom and Kyle Wolfong or anywhere in the gamut, you know, between the two. I hear call to post, we'll throw it back to Kurt Becker. Today's 9th race.
The horses are on the track for race 9, the Open Trot, for a purse of $1,650. The Carl Steve Wagoner Memorial, as we remember a trainer and owner, Steve Wagoner, who raced horses across the Midwest at the Parimutuels and the fairs. Parimutuels, he would race at Fairmount Park and Maywood and Balmoral Park. Horses like Surcharge and Pantherwood and so on. And we lost Steve too soon. He passed in 2022. We remember him here this evening. Scratch number 3, Noble Prize scratch. Number 1, Mariah Lou, is owned by the Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, trained by Jill Brown. Matt Avenatti is up. 2, Xena Lou, owned by the Flacco Family Farms, trained by Jill Brown. It'll be Wyatt Avenatti in the bike. 3 is scratched. 4, Lou's Raptor, owned by the Flacco Family Farms, trained and driven by Jill Brown. And 5, Lou's Miracle, owned by the Flacco Family Farms and trained by Chris Brown. The driver, contrary to the program, is Jaquavian Carter. So the 4 horses that go to the post, all owned by the Flacco Family Farms of Alexis near Gatesburg. Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco and Rick and Tabby Flacco. The Flacco family heads up the racing department at the Knox County Fair in Knoxville each summer. We appreciate all that they do there. Right now, these trotters are approaching the starting gate, and the gate is rolling. The Coles County Fair, if you are an aspiring sportscaster or track announcer, this is a great place to get experience, especially on these twilight programs, because, again, as that sun begins to dip closer to the horizon, those drivers' colors get backlit, and they all kind of look black and gray when they get against the backdrop of that setting sun. But that can be a really good way to get some good, hard, tough experience early on. It can also be a challenge, even if you're a track announcer who's done the job for a few years. Top of the stretch, here they come. Race 9 at the Coles County Fair on this Monday evening. Off and trotting they go in the Steve Wagner Memorial. And there goes an early move from Luz Raptor. Luz Raptor is out to take the early lead as they head into the first turn. Xena Lou will go in the second position. Luz Miracle away third. And problems before the start for Mariah Lou, who got rough-gated and is now the distant trailer as the other three already are headed onto the backstretch, although Luz Miracle is off stride. So Luz Miracle on a break in third and is better than 25 more lengths back to the slow starting Mariah Lou. No problems, though, this far here early in the race for Luz Raptor. Luz Raptor leads it by 2 lengths. 31 and 4 for the opening quarter, 31 and 4/5 seconds. Luz Raptor leads by 2 over Xena Lou, who travels in the second position. Then there's a gap of about 30 more lengths or so back to Luz Miracle in third. And Mariah Lou is the distant trailer, has just moved on by the quarter-mile mark and is now entering that west turn. But back up at the front of the field, already the leaders in front of the stands, and that is, so far, Luz Raptor. Luz Raptor leads it by 2 lengths, but stablemate Xena Lou is continuing to rake close behind the leader. 1:04 the time for the first half mile, 1:04 flat. Still a margin of 25 lengths more back to Luz Miracle and just over 25 more back of that one to Mariah Lou. The top 2 trotters have already completed 5/8 a mile and are at the midpoint of the backstretch. Luz Raptor, your leader. Luz Raptor opens up on a 3-length lead now with a quarter mile to go, and Xena Lou is still second, and the other pair still have a lot of ground to make up. Past the 3/4 mile mark, it is Luz Raptor with the lead. Luz Raptor, 3/4 and 135 flat. 135 flat for Luz Raptor at the 3/4, and this trotter looking for career win number 37. Wow, Luz Raptor knows how to win races and is about to add another victory to that incredible resume over the past several seasons. This veteran 9-year-old Illinois-bred Luz Raptor, much the best here in the Steve Wagner Memorial. It is Luz Raptor who comes across the line and wins it for Jill Brown. And despite wearing the number 3 saddle pad, that is indeed number 4, Luz Raptor. Yes, just looked up and did a double take, and you might have noticed that too, folks, but no harm, no foul. Luz Raptor, we know that is indeed the 4 horse that has won this race, but yeah, it does cause one to do kind of a double clutch there as they cross the wire. It was Xena Lou home second, Luz Miracle third, and Mariah Lou fourth. 2:05 and 2, the time for the mile, 2:05 and 2/5. We'll meet the winner in just a moment, and that is indeed number 4, Luz Raptor.
Having a nice chat here with fellow horseman Sean Nessa via text. It's nice to be able to hear these kind of words from Sean saying we do a heck of a job out here with the broadcast and we're greatly appreciated. And you know what? Hearing those things from a horseman and horsemen I know it means a lot to, makes it all worth it. You know, the long days and all the hot hours out here and miles we spend. But, you know, to know that the horsemen are really kind of getting a lot out of this, and if they can't make it here for whatever reason, whether it be health or family or travel or whatnot, you know, we're providing them a service that I think is invaluable, and hopefully making some new fans along the way. So I want to congratulate the winner of today's 9th race, Luz Raptor, making their way back to the winner's circle. I think we're going to have Kurt back on the microphone, but I want to go ahead and just give Sean that quick shout out while I had the moment.
Now returning in front of the stands, that is 2 wins this evening for Jill Brown as trainer and as driver, taking the open trot, the Carl Steve Wagner Memorial. How about a hand for number 4, Luz Raptor? Congratulations to owner breeder Flacco Family Farms LLC of Alexis, their second win of the night as well, as both owner and breeder. This trotter, a 9-year-old gelded son of Luz Legacy, career win number 37. This trotter has won over $250,000 during his long career. The program says there was a line to be announced from yesterday at the Logan County Fair at Lincoln, but they rained out. So the past performance line's current in the program, and that means that Lou's Raptor has gone back-to-back with wins at Urbana. That would have been last Tuesday night, and again here this evening at the Coles County Fair. Again, the time, 2:05 and 2. Here's the full field rundown from the top. It reads Mariah Lou fourth. Xena Lou was the runner-up. Noble Prize was scratched. Lou's Raptor was the winner, and Lou's Miracle was third. The quarter, 31 and 4. The half in 104 flat. 3 quarters in 135 flat. And the time for the mile, 2:05 and 2/5 of a second. Reads down 4-2 scratch 1-3. 10th and final race coming up, brought to you by our friends at Mac Moore Shoes. What a legendary business that is. Not often that you talk about a locally owned business that traces all the way back to 1890. That is the case for Mac Moore Shoes. And despite the various challenges, I think about that. 1890, so that is a store that has weathered situations like the Great Depression. They have found a way to stay relevant and to continue to serve their customer base. They're on West Lincoln Avenue here in Charleston. Again, locally owned. Visit them on Facebook, Mac Moore Shoes. No scratches. The driver of the 2 Blazing Star, Jaquavian Carter. Let's check back in with Brad Warner.
'24 Illinois County Fair Training Champion. Kev Miller's horses are built to win, and it all starts here. Ready to join a winning team? Call Kev at 217-254-0170 or send a message to the email address on the screen to learn more. Kev Miller Stables. Train to win.
All right, David, as we get finished up tonight and get ready to go here, thank you to our donors.
Sincerely.
And this increases, and stop by and see us if you get an opportunity. No, we don't want to do it in the heat probably right now, but if you see us, Elisa's up there in the stands. I know she's had a couple of people up there talking to her tonight.
But, I always say that the horseman's stories make it all worth it, and you're right. Even if I get a check, as much as we appreciate the money, and we really do, I love getting those little notes written along with it, telling us how much they appreciate what we're doing or where they're watching from, or maybe they're tied to the sport. Got this message from Bob Poppleton, one of our fans up there in Cambridge, following along. We appreciate, hearing from you all, as well as the monetary donations. So keep them both coming, guys.
Absolutely. We love having that, and you can do it lots of different ways. You can send a check. You can do it via Venmo, PayPal, at harnesstube.com with those ventures, and we appreciate that as we get ready for race 10, and we'll close up pretty quick here tonight because it's a long week, folks. So we'll be off the air pretty quickly after we give a race update. But as we get ready going here for race 10, Lisa in the lead with 115 points. David, she would have to get no points for you to catch her, and you would have to get all the points. And since you all have
3 horses, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Lisa and I picked the same in this 1-3-2 for this race tonight. And, David, you went with 3-2-1.
You know what? It's a Coles County Fair. We're in Charleston. I'm picking the Storm Warrior. This is the DeRoos horse. They named all their horses Diz something after their last names. But I figure if you're ever going to get a win, Stacy at the home track and the home crowd for local trainer Jill Brown, maybe I'd use those horses in a short field. Picking up the Storm Warrior on top. Using the 1 Twin Cedars Delane for my second choice. Marcus trains here as well. Should know this track about as good as anybody. My third choice was Blazing Star for Fat Man and Rochon. You guys are using Marcus on top, though.
Yeah, we went with Detweiler on top for this race, and this was a hard race for me to pick because you've got, Blazing Star. I'm sorry, I wasn't going to pick that in first place, and I don't think you were either. A lot of races where that horse didn't even was within 25 lengths of winning.
Yeah, when that horse kind of makes a break, it kind of takes itself out of the race. It seems like which just. you got to keep a flat mile out here at these fairs, and I think if anybody can do it, it's the two that train over the surface every day.
Well, and what I'm looking at, looking for lightning in a bottle here. I looked at that the Oak Grove race and the Springfield race where it kept it all together, 5 off of the leader and got 3rd place, and in the Springfield race got 2nd, was only 1 off the leader, and so I'm thinking this horse is due for a breakout.
Yeah, and it's tough when we're comparing track sizes. Looking at Twin Cedars Delane there, talking about trotting in 2-1 over that. Was that at Oak Grove, or is that a mile track? What about Springfield? It was
Springfield.
2-1 at Oak Grove, right? Yeah, 2-1 at Oak Grove and 2-1 at Springfield both. It's tough to translate that to this half-mile oval here at Charleston, but like I said, I just think the consistency, the Storm Warrior, that CR Regent Warrior horse out of Jody Lee, it's a homebred for the DeRoos family. I think, having been born here, trained here, if you're going to put in a big mile, you're going to do it at home on your home track. Like I said, Marcus trains here too, so it could be anyone's race. I guess I'm just being sentimental, really. Jack passed away a month ago. The family's out here. They've given away his first blanket a couple races ago, so I'm pulling the sentimental card, I think.
Well, and you brought it up when we were over at Hoosier Park about drivers that know every nook and cranny of the track.
Absolutely.
And that is it's home field advantage. The equivalent in baseball
it's
to home field advantage.
It's tough to beat Trace Tetrick at Hoosier. It's tough to beat Dave Pallone at the Meadows or Aaron Merriman. I mean, these guys just know the pace of the race. They know that track. They know when they can make moves, when they can't. They know when the horse is backing into them. And, traveling around from fair to fair, you see all kinds of tracks and whatnot. But if you can lock in on one, I think you can get an advantage there. So that's why I was picking with these local horses. But
all right, we'll go to Kurt.
Good to see you. Thanks for taking time to come over. Looking forward to working with you this fall. Thank you. Horses are on the track for race 10, the maiden trot, also eligible non-winners of 2 races lifetime. And again, this race brought to you by Mac Moore Shoes. Number 1, Twin Cedars Delane, leased and trained and driven by Marcus Detweiler of Sullivan. 2 is Blazing Star, owned by Sean James Butler of Northfield, Ohio, trained by Roshan Trigg. Contrary to the program, Jaquavian Carter is in the race bike. They are at the post, and the gate is rolling. And then DeStorm Warrior completes the field, number 3 in your program, owned by Deborah DeRoos of Charleston, the trainer and the driver, Jill Brown. Illinois bred from post 1, a Pennsylvania bred from post 2, another Illinois bred from post 3. Been great to have you with us, and we hope you'll come back and join us again for more racing on Wednesday evening. Here they come, top of the stretch for race 10. Be sure to visit Mackmore Shoes on Facebook for all of the latest specials they are offering. Off and trotting they go in the nightcap. And there goes the Storm Warrior out for the lead, but Twin Cedars Delane has early speed as well. Those two move down into the first turn to go at it for the top spot. Twin Cedars Delane to the inside and the Storm Warrior on the outside, and they are still side by side. All the way around the east turn and onto the backstretch they go, continuing to contest that lead. Blazing Star is racing in third. Finally, the lead battle straightens out. The Storm Warrior has made the top and leads it by a length and a half as they go on by the quarter. Twin Cedars Delane is second by 2 lengths, and Blazing Star is third. 31-4, the time for the opening quarter. 31 4/5 seconds. It is the Storm Warrior who shows the way. The Storm Warrior is on top and leads it by a length and a half. Twin Cedars Delane races along in that second position by 2 lengths, and Blazing Star is last of the 3 after 3/8 of a mile. They approach the halfway point in the Mackmore Shoes race to wrap things up here this evening. Everyone looking on from the grandstand, from the infield, and from the outside fence down in that east turn as they move by the half-mile mark here in front of the grandstand with the Storm Warrior, your leader. First half mile, 106 flat for that first half mile. Back around the east turn of the racetrack they go. The Storm Warrior is your leader. The Storm Warrior on top by 2.5 lengths now. Twin Cedars Delane is in second by 2, and Blazing Star is racing in the third position. These 3 trotters, they are covered by just over 3 lengths from front to back as they go to the 3/4. The Storm Warrior waiting for a challenge, leading Twin Cedars Delane by a length, and then 2 more lengths back back to Blazing Star as they head on to the final turn. 3/4, 138 and 4. 1 minute, 38 and 4/5 seconds. To Storm Warrior, the leader, with an eighth of a mile to go, leads it by 2 lengths. Twin Cedars Delane comes to the outside. Will Jill Brown pick up another win, or will Marcus Detweiler bookend the card after winning the opener? Here comes Twin Cedars Delane. Here comes Blazing Star. The Storm Warrior still there. Here's the wire. What a way to finish. The Mackmore Shoes race to Twin Cedars Delane. Twin Cedars Delane gets up by a long neck or a half length over to Storm Warrior in second. Blazing Star was third. That is a terrific way to close the card here this evening. Time for the mile, 2:10 flat. Time for the mile, 2 minutes, 10 seconds flat. Number 1, Twin Cedars Delane prevails. Marcus Detweiler, he ends up with 3 wins on the night. He won the opener, and he wins the finale, and he bookends the card. We'll meet the winner. Sit tight. We'll have our final pick of winner draws coming up. A lot yet to come here before we call it a night.
Congratulations to young Marcus Detweiler on a fine day's local track, local training. Looked good to see the family coming out here for the winner's circle. Taking, 3 wins today, I think, anyway. Winning the first 2, coming back with the final nightcap. I want to congratulate him and the whole family.
A final look at the trainer standings for this opening night card. So far, with just one of our 3 racing programs for the week complete, Jill Brown takes the lead with 16 points in the trainer standings. Jamaica Patton is second with 14. Kevin Miller is third with 13 points, and also into double digits with 11 points, Marcus Detweiler. By wins, Marcus Detweiler, 2 wins as trainer. Jill Brown, 2 wins as trainer. Kevin Miller, 2 wins as trainer. As for drivers, both Marcus Detweiler and Wyatt Avenatti with driving triples tonight, and Jill Brown with a driving double. Well, if you were here when the program began, a little over 2 hours ago, you saw 19-year-old Marcus Detweiler of Sullivan in the red, black, and white driving colors go to the winner's circle. And as we wrap things up now at 7:46 p.m. local Central Time, guess who it is? Once again, it is Marcus Detweiler. How about a hand for the 19-year-old out of Sullivan? There is the Mackmore Shoes blanket, and absolutely, we salute any business which has existed since 1890. Can't be around that long without serving your customer base and making sure that you stay in touch and know your customer base well, and they do that with authenticity and genuineness at Mackmore Shoes. Their blanket to Twin Cedars Delane, leased, trained, and driven by Marcus Detweiler of Sullivan. Here's the full field rundown, then we'll get to Brad. Twin Cedars Delane, the winner. Blazing Star, third, and Storm Warrior was the runner-up. The quarter, 31 and 4. The half in 106. 3/4, 138 and 4/5. The mile in 2:10 flat, and it reads down 1-3-2. The winning trotter by Lou's Legacy. That's a 3-year-old gelded son of Lou's Legacy, bred by Luke Zimmerman. All right, Brad Warner, take us on.
All right, we're going to take us on home as we finish up. Lisa, the big winner tonight.
Yeah, big day.
133 points.
Congratulations, Elisa.
This evening. And so with that, she is the winner for tonight. Let me give you the yearly standings, as I ended up in second today, and David ended up in third. 1,700 points for David. He leads the pack. 1,610 for me, and 1,609 for Lisa.
Oh, you guys are real close.
Yeah, we are. So with that, that's pretty much the point total. We want to tell people we'll be at Altamont tomorrow, and here in Charleston most of the week until the weekend. Then we get to go home, right?
Absolutely. We'll be here. We'll be at Altamont tomorrow. Altamont back here on Wednesday, and then Altamont on Thursday. Back here on Friday, and back home. So stay tuned. There's a lot of racing left this week.
All right. With that, We'll see you
down the road.